El Shaddai Malek, El Shaddai Malak, El Shaddai Ino Olam Wahe, Baruch Shem Kabo Nakuto Olam Wahe, Baruch Kabo Elohim Komo Malek Hayom, Hallelujah Olam Wahe.
First of all, I'd like to give all honor and praise to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. Stand up. When we giving praises to the Most High, we remain standing. First of all, I'd like to give all honor and praise to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the great, mighty, revered God, the Most High God, who bestows loving kindness and justice all things, who remembers the pious deeds of the patriarchs, the Most High, slow of anger, great in kindness, forgiving iniquity and transgressions, but who will by no means clear the guilty, visiting iniquities of fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. The Most High's work is perfect for all his ways of justice, the God of faithfulness, and without iniquity, just and right. You may be seated. Giving due respect and honor to a head in Israel, my father, Chief Eleazar, to the chief men, princes, brothers and sisters, I say unto you the tongue of my forefathers. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom Lekah.
Today is a day in commemoration. This is in commemoration of when the nation of Israel was redeemed out of the hand of the Egyptians. Out of the hand of the Egyptians. The Most High told one of our forefather Abraham, that there was going to be a people that was going to end up serving the Egyptians for 400 years. And God said that he was going to get these people out with a mighty hand, with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. And he challenged the gods of the Egyptians. The Egyptians had many gods. They had over 10 gods. They had over 20 gods. They had hundreds of gods, a God for everything, for every purpose. But our God do it all. Our God does all things because he's God. That's the title that a God has. Those are the things that our God has. So with that being said, we're going to go into Exodus chapter 1. I'm going to try and cover from Exodus 1 to Exodus 12 or 13 between today and Shabbat. Time sheet, Exodus chapter 1.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came.
These was 12 sons. 12 of Jacob's sons. And those were some hard boys. Those are some hard boys. Now, these boys here, these 12 sons are the pace setters. Each and every one of these sons was their own tribe. And this is by these 12 sons is what made up the whole nation of Israel.
Right.
Now, why did God take and turned or regarded or considered the nation of Israel was because of their father Abraham. Why? Because Abraham had a thing, he had something in him called blind allegiance. Blind allegiance means I don't have to explain and go through detail after detail and explain it over and over why we do this, what that means. A person that wants an explanation every single time, you don't believe.
That's why.
You don't believe.
That's why.
Because I gotta explain. You won't understand. You know what's the problem? We gotta realize something that we're not gonna understand everything right away. Certain things that we do, God said it takes time. It's gonna take time for you to understand this.
Amen.
The nation of Israel didn't understand everything 100%.
No, they didn't get it.
They didn't get it.
They didn't get it. Right.
That's why they kept murmuring. Then sometimes they'll tempt. Then they'll murmur. Then they'll tempt. And that's why God put a man over the nation during that time that was able to have patience.
Withstand.
That was able to have patience with these people. See, God realized the situation that the nation of Israel was coming out of.
Right there.
And they know, God knew that they didn't know who this Moses was. God knew that they didn't know God. They're coming from a past life that they're accustomed from.
They was Egyptians.
They were Egyptians when they left out of Egypt. They wasn't Israel. So it came a point in time when God said, this day ye have become the nation, ye have become He said, you have become the people of the Lord. Today is when I'm able to claim you. He said, now, which means now I'm able to claim you.
That level.
Which means there is a certain, this goes also with women. My father always said, you got to give this woman time. Realize that where you took her from, she is still there. She's still there. Yeah, you got her here observing Shabbat, but her mind frame and her thinking pattern is still over there. So my pop said, he said, listen, man. He said, it takes time for this woman to come over. So you got to lure her in like a fisherman. You got to bring her in little by little, by showing her the ways and the customs and the traditions of the living God. And while you're being shown these laws, commandments, and statutes, you ain't going to understand everything. But God open your eyes and your understanding according to what you do. So now, before I understand this law, I got to do it first.
Do it.
Before I understand that law, I got to do it first. Then after I start doing it and putting time in, God deals with time. I said, God deals with everything with time.
Right there.
He even deals time with each and every one of us in here. Correct. There's a set time when God opens your eyes to certain things according to your actions and the things that you do in life. That's how God dealt with the nation. Let's read.
And the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob was 70 souls.
70 souls.
But Joseph was in Egypt
already.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt. Which knew not
Joseph. Didn't give a hoops about what Joseph was. Was he the governor? What took place? They didn't care about that. You realize that now. Their problem, which is the problem today, your father is cool with this person. I am supposed to carry that on. And my son is supposed to carry that on. And his son is supposed to carry that on. That's the ways of God. That's the ways of God. Now, this Pharaoh that didn't even care about Joseph, your father's father was rocking with him. I said, your father's father was rocking with him. Which means, as Pop do say, it's cool. It got to be cool with you. The father said it's cool. Who is you to bring up and stir up problems with the person that your father said is cool? See, we get too into ourselves, filled with emotions, pride, envy, and vanity. So in order to see these laws, I have to relinquish all these things so God can take the skin off my face. So God can remove the cover from my face so I can really see this. Because you're only going to learn the ways of God by reading this book. But when you read it, do you apply it? We hear these laws constantly. That's against our souls. That's against us. Because we're opposite from what we read. So my job, your job, is not to point the finger and say, you talking about me. Well, if he's talking about you, take it, rub it on you, accept it, and change. God says, show the nation of Israel their what?
Their sins.
Their sins. I am not up here to tell you that we're going home. I'm not up here to show you dreams and fantasies and visions. If I look amongst the congregation and I see a bald head, I'm going to talk about the law that speaks against bald heads. If I look amongst the congregation and I see liars, I'm going to speak about liars. If I look amongst the congregation and I see you wearing mingle material, I'm going to speak about mingle material.
That's how it goes, man.
That is how it goes. We take and absorb these teachings and start applying it to ourselves so that we can be better. You know why? Because I'm up here talking about myself also. Why? Because that's the only way we're going to be better with God. You got to pan yourself. I got to pan me. And when I hear something positive that I'm against, then I have to take heed to that. You got to take heed to these things and say, man, it's a lot of work.
Stop being stubborn.
That I need to do with myself. There's a lot of changes that I need to do with myself to be better with God. Now, when you become better with God, then I will become better with people.
Won't be a problem.
It won't be a problem. You know why? Because the ways of God will be instilled in that person. Then I will deal with this person on a level, on a godly level, on a righteous level. And if you don't get the same in return, I don't have to return you evil.
True.
If I don't get the same godly godly attention or godly treatment, okay. It's not for you to treat me the way God said, because you have a choice.
Right.
You have a choice, but I will put distance between me and you. I don't have to be around you so that I get mistreated. But I'm going to continue to deal with you in the godly, righteous way.
I still love you.
Why? Because I'm not like you.
I still love you.
I'm not the same like you. Let's read.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
The people of who?
Of Israel.
Are more
and
mightier than we. Because they was increasing. They was increasing. God said, he said, I'm going to increase your seed. Like the sand of the sea. Like the number. He said, can you look up in the star? Can you look up in the sky and count how many stars at that point in time? You seen them stars. Because the earth was young. It wasn't that. You seen the stars up there. Back in the days, in the 80s, you could look up and see a light, a star here. Now, you hardly see a star up there. You hardly see them. What's going on? What is going on? The wickedness of the inhabitants of this place has grown. The wickedness and the evil of these people has increased.
It affects everything.
It has increased. So the atmosphere is being affected. Stars is being affected. Everything on earth is being affected. Why? Because of our sins. First it was just man. No, woman ain't getting away with it, because the only way you can get away with it is if you hearken to your husband. But you want to be stubborn and not hearken to your husband, so God gonna charge you too. God gonna charge you too. You had it easy. God made it easy for the woman. He said, all you gotta do is hearken to your husband.
Now that's the wrong thing.
That's it. But you gotta know what you're hearkening to now.
A godly man.
I said, you gotta know what type of man are you hearkening to.
That's who we talking about, a godly man. Because
sometimes some of these men is decrepit. Some of these niggas is no good. Niggerites. Niggerites.
Yeah.
Half nigga, half Israelite. Be careful. You gotta see how this man is. Learn how he is, what he is, what he's about before you start following. Because he'll lead you to the pit of man.
Yeah, have you stopped?
Go ahead, read.
That's right. Come on. Let us deal wisely with them,
Uh-huh.
lest they multiply and it come to pass that when they're falling out any war, they join also unto our enemies to fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Therefore, they set over them taskmasters to do what? To
afflict them with their burdens.
When you read the word for taskmasters, the Hebrew word is nagash. Nagash. Oh, wow. It means to oppress. It means to exert demanding pressure.
Oh, no.
To exert a demanding pressure. I'm forcing someone to do my will, what they don't want to do. He don't want to do it. But I continue to burden them until he accepts. We have people like that today. Yeah. Sometimes you got to say, oh, hold up, man. You see, well, the person don't want to do it. Leave him alone or leave her alone. Let her do what you want to do. Leave it. That's it.
You do what you want to do.
You do what you got to do. Right? Taskmasters also is a person who imposes. A person who imposes a harsh or onerous workload on someone.
Too much, man.
That is the job. Look.
Some people do it to themselves, see?
That's why Jethro had to tell Moses, he said, it's too much for you.
It's a little bit too much. Man.
This workload, this job here, this what you doing here is too much. You gonna wear out. The people gonna wear out. Listen, it's over after that. He said, you got to appoint officers so that they can help you with this workload. Because this is a heavy job. You are explaining. See, that was the problem. What we explain and have to explain to people is not about God. They didn't come up with problems of things that had to be explained that didn't have nothing to do with God.
Thank you. It was about
those are called extraneous matters.
Personal
Those are called extraneous matters. The only thing you had to explain was this. You know why? Because the treatment between these people was great.
They didn't go through that.
They didn't go through that. I knew how to deal with you, and you knew how to deal with me. So we didn't bump heads and have to go through certain things that's going to cause us to clash. The only clashing and the things that had to be explained was things that was towards the laws, commandments, and statutes pertaining to the laws. That's it.
Came to know the laws and his ways.
That's it.
That's it.
Onerous is a task or a duty or responsibility involving an amount of effort or difficulty that is oppressive.
It's very difficult.
Very oppressive. Time sheet.
Struggle. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses.
Those are treasure cities. Yes, go ahead.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
He said rigor. Hardcore rigor.
It makes sense.
Go ahead, read.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stool.
See, you see how they gave birth to the babies? They didn't lay down. When the woman was pregnant, the woman will go and squat or sit on a stool because the gravity is what pulls the baby out. We make this thing harder for ourselves. We lay down and we gotta almost push our heart out.
Push it from the side.
Push. Breathe. Push. By the time she finished doing that, she done bust the blood vessel.
They didn't have to go to Lamar's
because she been pushing and pushing. Sometimes you end up with an aneurysm. Sometimes you end up with hemorrhoids because of this hard strain trying to push that baby out. So the better way to have these babies is to squat over a stool where gravity will pull the baby down.
Right.
And that's how they had the babies.
Their prenatal was different.
Tom Sheep.
If it be a son, then you shall kill him.
Trying to wipe out the race.
You know,
Trying to wipe everybody out.
Sure.
All the males they're trying to wipe out. What do you think they're doing today?
they're gonna keep it moving.
Same thing.
What do you think they're doing today?
Go to men
Look,
first.
today, right now, it's already on the news and people are already saying that it's a shortage of men.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a shortage of men. The majority of the men today has been feminized. Listen, I'm at work. Dude is talking. He's a man. I'm talking. Nigga take his gloves off. His hand is painted with nail polish. And it looks weird. So I asked him, I said, yo, bro, I said, why you got your nails painted? He said, I don't know. That's just my thing.
Follow Drake.
My thing.
Dwight Howard.
The men have been feminized.
Yeah, say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again.
The men have been feminized. So if you find a real man, and what is the definition of a real man? A real man serves God. Keep these laws, commandments, and statutes.
No crooks or queer.
Okay? Go ahead, read.
But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Uh-huh.
But the midwives spared God and did not as the king of
Uh-oh,
Egypt
wait a
commanded
minute.
them.
Go ahead. Where you find that at?
17.
Go ahead, read
But
that
the
again.
midwives
But the midwives
feared
did
God.
what? The midwives feared God. The midwives was afraid of
That's
God.
why they didn't do it.
Huh? And that's why they chose to not do or do according to the commandment of what Pharaoh told them to do. He said, no. They made their choice.
Yeah, you like to kill
They
them.
said, either do this or do what God said. They chose God.
No matter
You
what.
see the fear and the devotion that the woman
They
showed
only
for
feared
God.
They feared God only.
So now this guy is trying to get the woman to kill off the male seed because they're trying to wipe out the whole nation. All the males they're trying to wipe out. Tom Sheep.
And did not as the king commanded them, but
Uh-huh.
saved the men children alive.
Uh-huh.
And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have you done this thing?
Listen what they said. They
And
said,
have-
why you did this? Uh-huh.
and have saved
And have saved the men
alive.
children alive. Uh-huh.
And the midwives said
Look
unto
what she
Pharaoh,
told them.
because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women.
That's what I'm waiting to hear. I said, that's what I'm waiting to hear.
Yeah.
The midwife said, listen, she said,
We
why
not
you
like
save
those
the men children alive? She said, because we ain't like the
We are
Egyptian
not
woman.
like those women.
Huh? I've been waiting to hear this from a woman. Now, I'm not the same like the nigga woman outside.
You don't think like them.
I don't think like them. I don't dress like them.
Everything.
I got a different mentality than them. I move different than them.
Outlook.
See, know what's the problem?
Right.
You're telling this woman that she's a queen,
Black
You're a
queen.
princess,
Daughter of Zion.
black Nubian queen,
Daughter
daughter of Zion.
I hear that.
Huh?
I hear that.
You're telling this woman that, but she don't look at herself as that. That's the problem.
Uh-oh.
She has to look at herself as so that the actions will correlate with her mindset. So your actions correlate with the way you think. I say your actions correlate with the way you think.
Go together.
That it goes together.
Yeah.
That's the reason why this is a whole job that we need to do. We got to change from inside out.
Reconstruction.
Because when you change from inside out, you will emanate and it'll show what's in you. You show what's inside of you. All right? You cannot look at yourself as the same as these people. We are not like them. You are not like them. Our women are not like them.
Hell no.
And you have to think that you have to acquire that mindset and tell yourself, I'm not like these people. That's what my father said he did every day. He said, man, y'all look in the mirror. He said, and I look in my mirror, and you think I'm talking this way. I'm talking to myself. He said, I'm not like them. I'm not like them. I'm this. I'm a Hebrew. I'm an Israel.
Yeah.
That's what he did. That's what
Talk
we
to
have to
yourself.
do. We got to talk to
Talk
that
to yourself.
demon that we have in us.
You gotta talk to yourself.
We all got demons in us.
You ain't crazy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
That's the
crazy.
favorite word of people today, demons.
Uh-huh.
We all got demons in us. You too.
Only one way to exercise.
You know what's the demons? The demon in you is what steer you, stray you away from God.
That's right.
So what caused you to run from God?
That's right.
What
demon-
caused you to turn away from
what
God?
demon caused
The
you?
demon in you.
Yeah.
Took over.
I got demons in me too. That's why I sin. And I do things presumptuously.
Uh-huh.
But guess what? I know how to correct it.
That's right.
And I know how to stop it.
That's
And
right.
I knew the only way to stop and
It's the
correct
only
that,
way.
I got to use this book.
Only one remedy.
If you're not using this book to correct those demons,
It
guess
gets
what?
corrected.
The demon ain't going nowhere.
Don't play hide and
It's
seek.
going to remain there.
You're gonna create a home.
It
You're going
plays-
to create a home,
It plays hide and seek.
an established place
Yeah.
for that demon to sit down and squat
And have
and
children.
talk to you and have
Have
children.
children.
Go ahead, read.
Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian woman,
Because the Hebrew woman are a lot like the Egyptian woman.
but they are lively,
They're lively.
and our deliberate ear of the midwives come in unto them.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, God dealt with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty.
Tom sheet.
And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses.
Uh-huh.
And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river,
Uh-huh.
and every daughter you shall save alive.
See,
Now he charges people.
sometimes you got to make a choice. You got to choose. And guess what? God going to put the problem right in front of your face to make
You
you
gonna
choose.
It comes to a point. Yeah.
Because he want to see what you going to choose.
Right.
What do you want? How do you want to live? What do you have in you?
You have
So
that
he put-
good. Yeah.
He make you choose between the most important thing that is
Most precious.
thing that you have as number one priority. He used because your number one priority is not to serve God. That's not your number one
I'm
priority.
trying to get you to do that.
Even though you're sitting in these seats, but that's not your number one priority.
You still got this.
People have different priorities in life. And God will use your priority, well, whatever you prioritize against you to test you and put it in your head. And then you start conjuring up ideas and saying, and start blaming
If you're gonna put that first,
to see if you're going to put what you prioritize over the laws of God.
you're gonna get tested. Ultimately.
I seen that happen. I seen it. Tom Sheet, chapter 2.
There went a man in the house of Lewi who took to a wife a daughter of Lewi.
And there went a man in the house of Lewi that took a wife for the daughter of Lewi. Tom
And the
Sheet.
woman conceived and bare a son,
The woman conceived and bare son.
and she saw him
She saw him.
that he was a goodly
That he
child.
was a goodly child.
She hid him.
And
3
she hid
months.
him for 3 months. He's a baby. Moses was a baby. But she could see in him and she
Saw
can
something.
tell that this baby is a good baby. The mothers and the fathers is able to look at the child and see what the child had in them. The word for good is told. Good means approved. This child is going to be
He's gonna
approved of
prove-
God.
He's gonna serve God.
Huh? His child is going to be approved of God, meaning what? Accepted of God, established of God. And she saw that goodness, the good that she saw in him was that he was going to serve God. That's the good. Isn't that the same good that God saw in Jeroboam's son?
Same thing.
Newborn baby.
Same thing.
God took the baby and killed the baby. Oh, why he killed the baby? He's innocent. Mind your business. Mind your business. God do it whatsoever he will,
That's
as
right.
he will.
That's right. The Lord, give it, the Lord take it away.
God do it whatsoever he will, as he will. Why? 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 Why did God kill that baby? Because God saw good in that child. So therefore he took him so that his father don't what? Defile him.
There's no one there to teach him.
Huh?
No one to show him God.
Tom Sheik.
And when she could no longer hide him, She took him for an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood.
She had to hide that baby because the sanctions done went out. Every male child supposed to be dead. Every male child. Go ahead.
And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him.
Miriam.
And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags,
the daughter of who? Of Pharaoh came where?
Came down to wash herself at the river.
At the river. They ain't had showers. When you had to take a shower or wash yourself, you had to go to the river and wash yourself. Now, these rivers were not, when the woman went to rivers, it wasn't an open river where she could just get naked and every man could walk by and see them.
It
wasn't like that. Property. It was a private property, and it was enclosed. Enclosed area.
You gotta go on the roof to look.
Right. In order to see that, you had to go on the roof. That's the only way you're gonna see. Now, David, he went up on the roof, not to look. He just went up on the roof. And he just happened to see, wow, this woman is bad. Bathsheba, daughter of Eliab. He said, man, call that woman here, man. He said, man, that's Uriah the Hittite wife. He said, man, call her here. Well, she hearkened to the king command. And God didn't say she was evil. God didn't say she was wicked. God didn't say she committed adultery. God didn't say nothing about that woman. We got to learn to stop questioning God. God knows why he did what he did and what. Listen, leave those things alone.
That's right. You gotta die.
Leave these things alone. Tom Sheep.
And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river. And her maidens walked along by the riverside.
Look,
and when she saw,
we say a lot of blasphemous words. We say a lot of blasphemous words against God. One person said, you keep following that garbage that you read in the Bible. I said, oh my God. I said, please don't say that. I said, you know what you're saying? You're saying that the word of God is garbage?
So you're a thief? Because the word of God is thou shalt not steal. You can get away from it.
You're saying that the word of God is garbage? You gotta watch your words, man, and stop allowing your emotions and your feelings to get the best of you. The word of God is garbage.
Don't say that to me.
Okay.
It's crazy. Don't say that to me. Those are fighting words to me.
Listen, man.
Don't say that to me.
You're gonna see. God gonna judge you according to those same words.
That's right.
I said, the God that sitteth in the circuit of the heaven,
Right.
the God that dwelleth in the cherubims. Right. I said, the God that split the Red Sea. That's right. The God, God, eternal, terrible, and mighty God. Yeah. He said, when the waters saw him at his presence, the waters streaming up front, it started flowing back.
They were afraid.
The waters flew back. Why? Because he was afraid. He said, the waters saw thee, oh God. The waters saw thee and flew backwards. And these are the blasphemous words that you dare to speak against God.
Ungodly.
The audacity, garbage. This is coming out the straight mouth of God. But you know why people is able to say these things? Because they don't believe.
That's why.
They believe everything else except for this.
Everything that's easy.
They believe Jake the Snake on the cross, doing the karate kickstand. Right. They believe the fat gut God called Boo Boo, sitting down with the stomach sticking out. All these damn statues and images. Huh?
Some of them got 4 arms.
They believe Oshinua, Odiushu, all these Uranaki and Ononaki, Yoruba God and the Yoruba gods for the sun, and Horus and Egypt. They believe all this foolishness.
They love that stuff. The world loves it.
Right. Go ahead.
Anything not to serve God.
Go ahead. Tom Sheik.
And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it.
When what?
And when she saw the ark among the flags,
Uh-huh.
she sent her maid to
She
fetch
sent her
it.
maid to fetch it. Read.
And when she had opened it, she saw the child.
Uh-huh.
And behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children.
This is one of the Hebrews' children. Read.
Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter,
Uh-huh.
shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew woman, that she may
What
nurse
verse
the
you at?
child for thee? Verse 7.
Go
I'm
ahead.
at 8 now.
Go ahead.
And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took
She
the child
getting
and nursed
paid to nurse her own child.
him.
But the thing is, realize something. The midwives and the concubines was able to nurse it too. The milk, look, the woman back then, they milk didn't dry up.
Nope.
Their milk didn't dry up. You know what
Nope.
kept the milk constantly flowing was their diet.
Thank you.
The milk dries up in a woman's breast because of your diet and the way you eat. The mother is able to take her baby and give it to her maidservant and say, nurse my baby.
And it tastes the same to the baby.
Nurse the baby. And she can nurse the baby.
That's right. That's right. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son.
Uh-huh.
And she called his name Moses, and she said,
Moshe.
because I drew him out of the water.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown,
Moses was a grown man now. Uh-huh.
that he went out
That he went out unto his brethren,
looked on their burdens,
looked on their
and
burdens.
spotted the Egyptians smiting a
He
Hebrew.
said he looked upon his brother, he went out, he's a grown man, but his mother already put him on and showed him and told him that you a Hebrew. You not know cotton picking Egyptian.
Yeah, no Egyptian.
You not know Egyptian. You not know American.
That's
You
right.
not know Christian.
You ain't no
You not
Jamaican.
know Muslim. You not know Jamaican.
Uh-huh.
You not know Panamanian. We gotta teach the children
Bring it
that.
up, bring it
But
up.
American parents leave it up to their children to choose. American parents leave it up to their children to choose. I'm not gonna force this. But the child does what you want them to do until they grow and get out your house. You don't leave these choices up to children. My son don't have a choice.
Never.
My daughter don't have no choice. They're 12. How you giving a 12-year-old their own choice? How you giving a 15 and 16-year-old their own choice? They're still living underneath your roof. You do what I say or get hanged. You do what I say or God gonna hang you. Or you don't want to do what I said? Then you grown. Go get your own crib.
Pay your own bill.
Go pay your own bills.
Buy your own food.
Go buy your own
Buy
food.
your own clothes.
Pay your own rent.
Your
That's
own
the only
stress.
time when a child can
Deal with
choose
your
to
own
do
stress.
opposite from what the father already showed him.
Look at your own house.
As long as you living under my roof, you are binded by my laws,
That's right.
my commands,
That's right.
my rules.
Commanded after me,
That's it.
like God said.
You see what these people did?
That's what kept everything in
You see
line.
what these people did? Which means Moses was told. He was put on who he was.
He was.
He was already put on already. And he didn't look at himself as an Egyptian. Time sheet.
And looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting
So
a
now he
Hebrew.
looked on their burdens,
He's looking at what they're going through.
seeing what they're going through,
He looked
the
at
hardship and the trouble and the stress of
bothering.
what his people is going through, right? And it bothered him. He felt bad for him. Huh? So he didn't look at them and said, they must be wicked. He didn't look at the people and said they must be wicked. I know they
He
wicked,
can't leave.
but I ain't gonna tell you it's good for
He
you.
wouldn't be able to leave.
So I'm not gonna tell you it's good for you. Let God do that. It's for me. God said, why don't we have a heart? If we have a heart for God, then I will have a heart for you. And if you go through something, I'm not going to say that's good for you because you be doing this, this, and this, and this. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. But people think they know the ways of God. No, you know your own ways, and you do things according to your own ways. And when we do things according to our own ways, it's not accepted by God, and all you're going to do is dig yourself. Dig yourself. You're going to dig a hole for yourself. That's it, and you ain't going to get out of it. You're not going to get out of it. The book teaches us the ways of how to have a heart for each other. He didn't look at these people, man. He looked at their burden and he felt sorry for them. Felt sorry for them. Go ahead, read. Now, what do you think was going down with these people? They were serving the gods of the Egyptians.
Oh, yeah.
Not Moses. You think Moses ain't seen that? He still felt sorry for them. They served the gods of the Egyptians. Why you think when they got out of there, they built that golden calf? That was an idol that was being worshipped by them. These are the same people. You don't think Moses seen them worshiping these things? But he didn't say, y'all going through this because you served the golden calf, Israel. That's good for you. That's not the mindset, you fools.
He knew what God said to Abraham.
It's not the mindset.
He was told.
But he still felt sorry for him. Tom Sheik.
He spotted Egyptians spotting a Hebrew.
He saw
one
an
of his
Egyptian
brethren.
hitting who?
One of his brethren.
Smiting the Hebrew. One of his brethren. He still looked at them as brothers.
That's what it was.
Even though their mindset wasn't like unto Moses. Even though he may have these people served gods of wood and stone while in Egypt.
God said this already. He told him this already.
But he still looked at him as a brethren. So then what he did now? He looked this way. He looked that way. And what happened?
And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian.
He slew the Egyptian.
And hid him in the sand.
That was a dig deep. He had to dig real deep in that sand. Now, when you're digging sand, it's hard because the sand rolls back down.
How he did that?
Dig a deep enough hole to bury that Egyptian and cover him under the sand.
Body under the sand. They're going to find him. They're going to find him. And he looked this way. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strolled together.
2 men of the Hebrews strolled together.
2 brothers fighting.
2 brothers arguing,
2 Israelites
fighting.
2 Hebrews.
They're going at each other's necks. Huh? Go ahead.
And he said to him that did the wrong.
And he said to the one that did the wrong.
Teach.
And he said to the one that did the wrong. Don't do that today.
Oh, man.
Don't go to the person that violated and said, man, you wrong. Don't do that. The person that you tell him that is wrong, he wants you to be partial. You want me to side with you. I'm not going to side with the wrong because God is against that. I can't side with the wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And I don't side with people, period. Brother, sister, cousin, family. I don't side up with you if you're wrong. I'm never going to side with you when you're wrong. Because you know why? Because God speaks about it. He said, don't honor the face of the mighty. He said, don't respect the face of the poor. He said, deal justly. Justly.
That's just.
Huh? Justly. I got to be just in everything that I do. So that, guess what? So that God, I can gain God's attention. I'll gain a different look from God. You think I care about how you look at me, Mr. Man? I don't care about how you look at me. I don't care if you don't want to talk to me. You know the only people I care about if I lose connection with God and my mother and my father. But if you, Brother Garment, don't want to talk to me no more, so be it. Life goes on.
Facts. Talk about
God is not going to record me in the book or write me in the earth and say, well, the brother so-and-so is not talking to
Facts.
people right now. That's your fault.
Facts.
You don't want to talk, then that's you.
Talk about it.
Life goes on, brother.
Talk about it, John.
Life would not go on if God ain't talking to me.
That's a fact.
Life ain't going on if my mother ain't
That's
talking
true.
to me. I'm going to try and gain the attention of my parents and God.
Those are the ones that curse.
Those are the ones that count.
They curse and bless.
Everybody else, I really don't give a hoops
You
about.
can't curse and bless.
I don't care. The only ones that has the power to pray on me is my parents.
Parents and God.
My parents could pray on me.
That's very true.
That's it.
Talk about it, John.
That's it. Let's read.
Talk about it, John.
And he said, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow?
He said, why you smite your fellow?
And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over
He
us?
said, why you smite your fellow, man? He said, you was wrong. He said, why you hit him,
Why you
man?
hit him?
What is your problem for hitting him?
Why you hit him?
Why you put your hands on him? Which means what? Moses wasn't with that neither.
Keep your hands on
And
yourself.
guess what?
Keep your hands to yourself.
Guess what?
Don't do it.
When you don't voice it or say anything, guess what? It shows that you're down. It shows you agree.
You letting it rock.
You're letting it rock.
You
But you
tolerate.
can't, look, you got it. Now, why you think Moses said something? He didn't like what was going on. He didn't like what was going on.
He didn't like the outside.
No, he didn't like what was
Outsiders
going
getting
on.
his brothers.
It was a lot of it was an unjust
A lot of
act
unjust acts.
that went down, and Moses had to rectify it.
And they-
This dude go put his hands on the other, but he went to the one and said, yo, why you put your hands on him? He said, why you hit him, man? Look what he told him. Tom Sheep.
Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the
He
Egyptian?
said, listen, man, you gonna kill me like you killed the Egyptian? Certain things don't need to be mentioned.
Uh-oh.
I said, certain things don't
Why you had to
need
say that?
to be mentioned.
Why
You
you
didn't
said
have
that?
to mention that.
I gotta watch out for
You didn't have to say that.
You gonna
I
tell.
killed the Egyptian because he
You gonna
was
what? You gonna
smiting my
tell.
brother.
You gonna tell.
Go ahead, read.
And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
Exactly. Tom Sheep.
And when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses.
Uh-huh.
But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well.
Tom Sheep.
Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew near water
Priest of Midian had 7 daughters. They came to draw water.
and filled the troughs
Uh-huh.
to water their father's flock.
Uh-huh.
And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them.
The shepherds
Watered their
came and drove them away.
Amen.
So the 7 daughters would go to draw water.
They would get their
While they're there first drawing the water, you have shepherds that come and debo the wells.
Yeah.
Make them wait. They come, get up, move over.
Get out of here,
They
woman.
start shepherding, right?
Yeah.
What Moses did.
And when they came, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock.
You see? The woman didn't fight the men.
No.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I was here first. No, they ain't do that. The man came and bogart. She didn't say nothing because she recognized her place. And that is a part of being feminine. When you emanate or show any type of masculinity, you will voice things like that. A feminine woman will be quiet. It's not nothing about taking a charge or being a punk. It's called being feminine.
That's going to make a man stand up for.
That's called being feminine. And then another man
Man
gonna
gonna stand
look.
up. Somebody-
That's guaranteed.
Who the
Another
hell-
man gonna look. He say, yo, man. Yo, what's up? You ain't see the sister
Because she
sitting
being
here?
submissive.
She was standing right there.
That's right.
He said, you ain't see her? Yeah, but
Taking
next thing he gonna start playing, gonna grab him and get him out the way. God gonna make a man stand up for you because you remained and you remained and you stood still in your feminine role. If a man do something, you don't argue back and forth with a man. Push come to shove, it get too heated and crazy. You know how many times my moms came back to the house and told my pops, and my pops run back out the house like a mod.
Guys left town.
Because dudes used to violate my mom's, and my mother kept her mouth shut,
Nigga left town.
stayed calm, keep quiet. She got home, she got her protector. That's the protector right there, your husband. That's the protector right there.
He gonna
You
get
ain't
him.
got to do that, man.
Nah,
Easy.
you gotta kill him. You gotta shoot him.
And that's what they did. So Moses seen it. He stood up for him. Tom Sheet, read.
When they came to Reuel, their father, he said, "How is it that you come so soon today?"
Reuel, who was Jethro, he knew that the shepherds was bow guarding the water.
That's right.
Reuel ain't come out there to fight. He said, oh, they did that. So okay, all right, whatever. But they came, they got the water. He said, man, how y'all came so soon? Which means he knew the shepherds used to bow guard that water.
They make a big thing out of it.
Look what he right. Wait, read.
Verse 19.
Tom
And
Sheet.
they said, "An Egyptian delivered us."
An Egyptian delivered us. Why was he called the Egyptian? Because of the way he dressed. According to what you have on depicts,
Yeah.
who are you?
Yeah.
There is a certain look of a Hebrew.
That's right.
There's a certain look of a Hebrew. Okay? Clothes,
You have a certain idea.
how you dress, is identity.
Uh-huh.
If I see you and you have a bald head and no hair on your face, that's not our identity.
Yeah, talk about it.
That's not the identity of a Hebrew.
Oh, you speaking unspoken
I
things.
said that's not the identity of a Hebrew
Speaking
to be
unspoken
bald-headed
things.
and clean-faced.
You're mad at that. Talk
Speaking
about it.
unspoken
Huh?
things.
That's not our identity.
No, it's not.
The way we dress is a certain dress way that we have to dress to emanate this identity.
Who our God is.
Right.
Who our God is.
Fact.
That's why when I see certain brothers becoming the teachers in suit and ties,
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
Talking about he look clean.
Talking about he
And
look
it's
clean.
allowed.
With a kufa.
No,
And it's allowed.
this look clean with a garment. This is
Facts.
clean.
This is
A robe is clean.
Like a
A
drip.
mantle
This
is
is
clean.
drip.
Why? Because this
This
is
is
that.
drip.
That was our culture.
God like this truth.
Tom Sheet.
And they said, "An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man?"
You hear what Jethro told him? He said, wait a minute. If this man did this good to you and stood up for you, then why you left him outside? You see the mindset? You see the mindset of these people of the East? You see the mindset of these people? When people do you good, you gotta show your appreciation. You deal kindly with that person. You show your appreciation by accepting them and bringing them in. He said, why you left them out there if he did this for you?
Right.
Tom Sheet.
Call him that he may eat bread.
He said,
And
call
Moses-
him and bring him in so we can eat bread together. Tom
Verse
Sheet.
21. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. And she bare him a son and called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange
A
land.
stranger in a strange land.
And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died. And the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their
groaning.
And God remembered his covenant.
And God
with Abraham,
remembered the covenant with who?
with Abraham,
With Abraham.
with Isaac,
With
and
Isaac.
with Jacob.
You see what caused God to remember his agreement with Abraham? You see what caused God to remember his agreement with Abraham? The nation of Israel was cried out. They was groaning and crying out because of what the Egyptians was putting them through. See, one thing that will cause God to hear is oppression.
Crying out.
Anybody that cry out over being oppressed, God gonna hear that. These are things that God don't like. Now we have to realize and understand what is oppression. How can I stay out of oppressing someone? Because to oppress, it's easy to step into that realm.
It's easy.
Don't be surprised. It's easy. Very little things, so small that we can do that slips right under oppression. When what? When you abuse your authority. When you abuse your authority. Right? Tom Sheet.
And God heard their groaning. And God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect
And God
unto
looked unto the children of Israel. Huh? The word look, ra'ah, it means to look. When you look up the definition of look, it means to regard. It also means to consider.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
It made me consider.
Huh?
It made me think.
Made him think.
Uh-oh.
He regarded. The nation of Israel drew their attention,
Roll
drew
on.
God's attention toward them because of the oppression, and he cried out. So now, because we drew God's attention, he remembered his covenant and his agreement that he made with Abraham. And because he remembered his agreement with the father, I can't forget the children. Huh? If me and the father is cool, I gotta look out for your seed. Me and your seed gotta be cool. If it goes, look, I can't be cool with the father and want to stab the children. I can't be cool with the children and I'm against the father.
See that a lot. It happens.
Can't do that.
People today.
And we didn't turn against people for no reason. You ask the person, hey, what's wrong, man? What's the problem? What's the beef? My spirit don't take them. I just don't like you. What's that? No, man, I just don't like them.
Your spirit don't take them.
What do you mean you just don't like her? You just don't like her. You got a problem.
Wow.
Tamshi, he said the children of Israel and God had looked upon the children of Israel and God had respect unto them. You know what that is? When God respects you. The word for respect is yada. Yada means to know, and God to know, to have come upon after searching, to have come upon after searching. So after God searched your inward parts to see what you're made of, that's what made God or drew God towards you to discover or to become familiar with. Tamshi, chapter 3.
Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert.
Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. Now I done married Jethro's daughter. I done had children with her. So now, he said, you know what? You ain't got to keep the flock. Your daughter ain't got to keep the flock. I'm going to go keep the flock. I'm going to go do what I got to do with this flock. Go ahead, read.
And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb.
Even to Horeb.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire, and out of the midst of a bush. And he looked.
And the angel of God, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush. So it's a bush that's on fire, right? But the bush is not being consumed by the fire, which means the bush is not being burnt, but the bush is on fire. That's like a piece of wood that's on fire, but it ain't being burnt. Now, why God did that? God did that miraculous sign to draw his attention, to spark his curiosity. And this is how God deals with us today.
That's right.
In order for God to open your eyes to certain things, you have to have some type of, you got to have some type
interest.
of interest.
That's right.
You got to have some type of interest towards these laws so that
you?
God can open your eyes to what you're interested in.
Okay.
But the problem is we are not curious enough. We are not interested enough.
Doesn't matter enough.
It doesn't matter enough to you.
That's why.
Tamshi.
The angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush, and he looked, and behold, the bush burnt with fire, and the bush was not consumed. Verse 3. And Moses said,
the bush wasn't consumed. And Moses said, what?
I will now turn
aside
and see this great
sight.
Why the bush is not burnt.
Why the bush isn't burnt. The bush is on fire, but it ain't being burnt. That's a hell of a sight. For something to be on fire and it ain't burning, that would draw.
Check this out.
I have to check that out. Tamshi.
And when the Lord saw that he turned aside
When
to
the Lord
see,
saw that he turned aside to see,
God called unto
God called unto
him out
him
of the midst of the
out of
bush
the midst of the
and
bush
said, Moses,
and said unto
Moses.
Moses, Moses,
And he said, Here am I.
here am
And
I.
he said, Draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes
Take
from
your
off
shoes
thy
off
feet,
from off thy feet.
for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
The place where you stand at is holy ground. Take your shoes off. He said, take your shoes off. He said, the place where you standing at is holy ground. This is not holy ground.
Make it correct.
I said, this is not holy ground. Read.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father.
Uh-oh.
The
He said,
God
I'm
of
the
Abraham.
God of your fathers.
Uh-oh.
He said, God, the first
Uh-oh.
time he ever met God.
Uh-oh.
Now, Moses know about the God of Abraham. He know about his forefathers, but he never met God face to face. This was the first time God is introducing himself to Moses.
Yeah.
He said, I'm the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He said, what?
And Moses hid
his face.
But he was afraid to look
But he
upon
was
God.
afraid to look upon God.
This is the one up in here.
Huh? He said Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look upon God. Go ahead, read.
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I am come to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites.
Read that over.
I am come down.
Verse 7?
8.
Go verse 7.
7. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction
And the Lord said, he
of
said,
my
I
people,
surely seen the affliction of thy people.
which are in Egypt.
He said, they're in Egypt. He said, but I see the affliction.
I see what's
I
going on.
realize what they're going through. I see their pain and their sorrows. Tamshi.
And have heard their cry
And I heard their cry
by reason of their
by
taskmasters.
reason of their
For
taskmasters.
I know their sorrows.
I know their sorrows. I know their pain. I realize what they're going through. Which means what? I done put myself in their shoes, and this is what people don't do today. We don't do that today. We pan and pan, but before I pan and I judge, we gotta switch the tables.
Yeah, somebody doing that to you.
Switch the tables around. The only time the tables don't get switched when we're dealing with the laws of God. But when any other things go on, we need to look at a perspective in that person's perspective, so you can really judge a matter and see what's going on. Because we do things, kill him, and then sometimes the situation turns and you end up in the same situation.
You don't want to die.
But you don't want to
die.
You don't want the same penalty.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of 8.
Go ahead.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land into a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me. And I have also seen the oppression.
He said, the cry of Israel has came up to me.
And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee to Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Moses said unto God, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh?
He said, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh?
King.
Moses was a very meek and humble man. Meek, humble. He didn't have pride in him, and he didn't think of himself as so grandioso. He didn't think of himself as inferior. He looked at he was very humble.
He didn't look at himself
as superior. He didn't look at himself as being superior. He was a very humble man.
That's why.
And that's why he said what he said. He said, who am I to go step to this king, to step to Pharaoh, who runs the whole land of Egypt.
Nobody steps to Pharaoh.
He said, no, I'm nobody. That's what he's telling God. Go ahead, read.
And that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt. And he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God upon this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers has sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
He said, God said unto Moses, he said, I am that I am. Huh? What does that mean? I am that I am. Ehiyeh, I shared Ehiyeh. Huh? The word Hayah means to exist. I will become what I choose to become.
That's what it means.
I will be that I will be.
Whatever
I am the existing one.
Whatever I want to be.
Huh?
Whatever.
That's why he was able to appear to Moses in the fire. That's why he's able to bring his glory to come down and cover the face, the entrance of the tabernacle. This is why.
That's why you don't like I do.
This is why.
Talk about
Okay, go ahead.
I am that I am.
Uh-huh.
And he said, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you.
He said, I am has sent me to you. Huh? That's a hard handle.
Tough talk.
They don't know us.
That's a hard handle, man. He said, I am has sent me to you. Right? He said, Ehiyeh, Shelah, Kani, Aleichem. Ehiyeh means the existing one, or to exist. He said, I exist. He said, I exist.
They don't exist.
Y'all don't exist. Y'all don't want
Your
that.
idols don't exist.
He said, I exist. Tom Sheik.
Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has sent me unto you. This is my name
forever.
This is my memorial.
This is my memorial.
Unto
My
all.
memorial meaning my remembrance.
Unto all
Unto all
generations.
So it's even talking about this generation.
Generation.
God did not introduce himself as Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh.
Yeah.
God introduced himself as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? He said, has sent me unto you. He said, this is my name forever.
That's what you call me.
This is what you're supposed to be calling me. This is what you call me, right? And this is my memorial. This is my remembrance unto all generations. I'm always going to be known amongst the generations as the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Tom Sheik.
And go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them,
Go and gather the elders of Israel together.
the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you. And
I have
seen
surely visited you. I have surely remembered you. What did the nation do for God to remember them? They cried out.
that cry,
That bitter cry that they cried out to God with.
That's what
God, that's what set everything off.
set it off.
That's what set everything
They
off.
hollering hard down
Tom Sheik.
And seeing that which is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt and unto the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Those are the, how many nations? Seven Hamitic nations that God gave us a commandment and told us to wipe out.
7 sons of Canaan.
These 7 nations that God told us to wipe out and destroy. We didn't destroy them.
Nope.
We started marrying into them. We started marrying into them. The men married their daughters. The daughters married their sons. And we served their gods. We took on their ways. We took on their traditions. We took on their customs. We even started dressing like them. We look like them. We switched everything up to be like unto them. Just
The
like
same
today.
way
The
today.
same way. The celebrations, we want to celebrate what they celebrate.
Yeah.
What they do, we want to do.
Yeah.
When are we going to get this in our head that we are not them
Yeah.
and they are not us?
Yeah.
God gave us these laws to separate us from these people.
That's right.
Which means what? We got to be different.
Different. That's right.
Last week we had a problem. Why are you having a problem with being different?
Yeah. Talk about it.
God said we need to be different.
That's right.
God gave us these laws, commandments, and statutes so that we can be different from them.
That's what makes us holy.
This is what's going to make us holy and separated and sanctified
That's
from
sweet.
everybody else.
Nothing else can make you holy.
From everybody else. The only thing that can make you holy
That's the
is
only thing.
is these laws.
That's right.
That's it.
Commandments and statutes.
Talk about it.
By fulfilling these laws, commandments, and statutes.
Talk about it, drummer.
Time sheet.
And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, and thou and the elders of Israel unto the king of Egypt, and you shall say unto him, the Lord God of the Hebrews hath met with us. And now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice
Now,
to the Lord our God.
I didn't say the woman went and found their husbands. I said that the men married in to their daughters, and our daughters ended up marrying their men.
That's what they did.
That's what
We
happened.
married into those people.
That's it.
We married into those people.
The men married into the daughters.
Do you understand that?
And guess what? The men, the heathenistic 7 nations, ended up marrying into ours.
I got a daughter.
And guess
My
what?
husband is a
The
Canaanite.
fathers, the men served their gods.
And we serve
The women served their gods too. They followed what their husbands did.
Correct. Even
We
the
all
Canaanites.
turned away from God.
That's right. Read Deuteronomy 7.
Let's read.
And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go. No, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when you go,
Go back.
verse 19.
Go ahead, read it again.
And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go. No, not by a mighty hand.
He said, the king of Egypt ain't gonna let you go. No, not by a mighty hand. You know why? Because God hardened his heart.
Yeah, he gonna let you go
I
easy.
said, God hardened his heart.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read.
And I will stretch out my
What
hand.
verse was that?
That was verse 19.
Right, go ahead.
And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders.
I will
which
stretch out
do,
my hand and smite who?
and smite Egypt with
Smite
all my
Egypt
wonders,
with all
which
my
I will
wonders.
do, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go.
And after all this that went down in Egypt, you still had people that want to worship and acknowledge Horus and Isis and all these Egyptian gods. Don't we know and see that there's proof that this really happened in Egypt?
Everybody got the same story.
It's proof. But you have people that still acknowledge these deities, these Egyptian deities. Go ahead, read.
And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go out empty. But every woman shall borrow of her neighbor and of her that sojourneth in her house jewels of silver, jewels of gold, and raiment.
Go ahead.
And ye
Go
shall
to the next
put-
chapter.
Chapter 4.
Uh-huh.
And Moses answered and said, behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto me.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it
He
became
said,
a serpent.
listen, man, when I go down to Egypt,
They ain't gonna believe
they
me.
not going to believe
The
me, man.
people not going to believe.
I need something tangible. Ain't that sounds like us today. Sounds like us. I can't believe what you're telling me. I got to show you proof. You got to go through certain... And then when you show them the person of proof, they still question
They
it.
shoot it down.
He said, man, when I go amongst these people, man, they ain't
You
gonna
know
believe
how
it.
they get
I
down.
need something to do before these people to show them that the God of Abraham
A
exists.
lot of magic goes down. Now.
Yeah.
Man.
So he used the same thing that they believe in. See, God
know how to get
know how to get to you. The same thing he used your own mentality against you
Draw you in.
to draw you in or to push you away.
Thank you.
To draw you in or to
Thank
push you
you.
away.
Teach,
The same
teach,
mentality of the
teach.
Egyptians and how they dealt with all these warlocks and signs and witchcraft. God used the same thing. Cause Moses to take the staff. He took the staff, threw it on the ground, and it turned into a snake. And it turned into a snake.
Moses didn't have to do nothing.
Moses had to do nothing.
He
He didn't have to burn nothing and go into none of that.
No seance.
No seance, no nothing.
Pray
Took the
nothing.
staff, threw it on the ground, and turned into a
With
snake.
God is automatic.
With God is automatic.
Thank
Tom
you.
Sheep.
And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it
What
became
verse you at?
4.
Go ahead.
And he put forth his hand and take it by the tail.
Mm-hmm.
And he caught it, and it became a rod in his hand.
Uh-huh.
Verse 5. That they may believe
That
the
they
Lord-
may believe. Uh-huh.
that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob have appeared unto thee. And
See,
the- Bust it down, John. Bust it down.
that they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham,
their
the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob have appeared unto thee.
It's been a long time.
Don't that remind you of today?
See?
You had people, you had men that went through certain things live and direct with
Everybody
God.
else did.
Mm-hmm. And you get told about these live and direct things that went down, but we still don't believe.
Not
I'm
enough.
supposed to take what this man told me that he went through
And run with that.
and run with it and believe it.
Yeah.
But even though I hear these things, I still have doubts.
Yeah. It don't stir you up.
It don't stir you up.
The purpose don't get done.
It doesn't stir you up. Like the time in the courtroom when I told y'all how my father was sitting in the courtroom. Sitting in the courtroom, and a voice came to him in his right ear and told him, when the judge take his eyes off of you, get up and leave.
Mm-hmm.
He jumped and turned around. Nobody's there. And the same thing that the voice told him in the air, it started to happen.
That's right.
And then the courtroom, where everybody's sitting in the bleachers, the judge, the bailiff, everybody is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to strike some type of interest or spark in you.
That manly spirit.
That's supposed to spark you, man.
Talking about. Yeah.
But it don't spark us.
Yeah.
It don't. Tom Sheep.
The Lord said furthermore to him, put not thy hand into thy bosom.
He said, put your hand in your bosom.
And he put his hand in his bosom.
Uh-huh.
When he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
His hand was leprous. Put his hand in his bosom. He pulled his hand out. His hand turned leprous. Tom
He
Sheep.
said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom.
Uh-huh.
And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign.
Uh-huh. Tom
It
Sheep.
came to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land.
Take the water of the river, pour it on the dry land. Tom
And
Sheep.
the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry
The
land.
same water that you took out the river, it turned blood. Tom Sheep.
And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore.
He said, I ain't eloquent, oh Lord. He said, I'm not eloquent.
Never
I don't speak too good. I never was good. He said, neither what? Heretofore.
Yeah.
Tom Sheep.
Nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant.
Uh-huh.
But I am of a slow speech
But I am a slow speech
and of a slow tongue.
and of a slow tongue.
And the Lord said unto him, Who hath made
He
man's
said,
mouth?
who made man mouth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Who's the one that made man mouth?
Now you talking to?
Huh? Tom Sheep.
Or who maketh the dumb,
Or who make them?
or deaf,
Or deaf?
or the seen,
Or the seen?
or the blind?
Or the blind?
Have not I the Lord?
Have not I the Lord? Mhm. Our God is God.
That's right.
Whether you born blind, God made you blind. You born deaf, God did these things to you. Why? I don't know. I don't know. That's what God did. We got to learn to stop questioning God.
Can't do nothing about that.
Our forefathers wasn't born like that.
No.
These are
No.
things that our forefathers
question.
wasn't born like. So when we're born like that, we got to question why my child was born like that. Is it because it my sins riding my kid? Is it my iniquities riding my child? Has God visited my iniquities upon my son, upon my children, that caused my child to be born with this deficiency? Tom Sheep.
Now therefore I will be with thy mouth and
Uh-huh.
teach thee what thou shalt say.
Uh-huh.
And he said, O my Lord, send I pray thee by the hand of him whom thou wilt send.
Uh-huh.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
He said, listen, man. He questioned God and asked God again. He says, Moses got angry at him. He said, all
He said,
right.
look, Aaron
He
comes.
said, Aaron's coming. He said, when he see you,
That's how
he
Aaron
gonna
got
be
it.
happy that he see you. He gonna be happy within his heart to see you. Tom Sheep.
And thou shalt speak unto him and put words in his mouth.
Uh-huh.
And I will be with thy mouth and with his mouth, and
Uh-huh.
will teach you what ye shall do.
Uh-huh.
And he shall be thy spokesman
Mm-hmm.
unto the people.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall be to thee instead of a mouth. And thou shalt be to him instead of God. And thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. And Moses
Go ahead.
went and returned to Jethro his father-in-law, and said unto him, let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to
So Moses is back from talking from God. He goes to his father-in-law. He said, listen, he said, it's time for me to go. I gotta go back and check on these people, see if they alive or dead. I see what's going on. Go ahead, read.
And see whether they be yet alive.
Uh-huh.
And Jethro said to Moses, go in peace. And the Lord said unto Moses in Midian, go, return unto Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life.
That's what God told him. He said, all the men that were seeking your life, because he said they're all dead.
One died this way.
God
One got
killed them.
sick.
He killed them all.
This guy got killed.
So now it's safe for you to get back. See, this is what God does for his people, or the righteous, or the ones that make their mind up to serve God, and you're following God. God fights your battles. You ain't got to flip a finger. So when he went back, he didn't have to look over his back or worry about nothing, because God, the whole crew that was seeking his life is dead.
He killed the judge,
Tom Sheep.
prosecutor. Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass and returned to the land of Egypt.
Uh-huh.
And Moses took the rod of God in his hand.
Tom Sheep.
And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh.
He said, when you go in Egypt, he said, do the same wonders. Do all those things that I showed you. He said, do that in front of Pharaoh.
Got to do that.
Tom Sheep.
Which I have put in thine hand.
Uh-huh.
But I will harden his heart.
But I will harden his heart.
That he shall not let the people
That
go.
he should not let the people go.
Right, yeah.
So people ask, why did God harden his heart? Why didn't he just allow Pharaoh to just let the people? Because God wanted to show him his glory.
Right.
Pharaoh was full of pride. And the things that God was going to do to him was to break him down.
The visitation of Egypt.
Visit the gods and the deities of that land.
Right. He told Abraham
Of that
he was going to
land.
visit them.
But God can harden your heart. God can harden your heart against doing things that is lawful and right.
That's right. I want you to do the right thing.
Why he harden your heart against doing the things that is lawful and right? Because it got something to do. He got something set for you. Whatever you have in you, God don't want you.
Yeah.
So therefore, he hardened your heart against doing the
That's
things
right.
that is
Block you
lawful
off.
and right, and block you off because of what you did before or after or
That's
ahead.
why you don't feel like it.
Talk about it.
Huh? So that's why God hardened your heart against doing the things that is lawful and right. That's why when your heart is hardened, you can't see your wrong.
I see you're wrong.
When your heart is hardened, you can't see your wrong.
Yeah. Talk about
You blame everything else except for seeing and realizing the depth of what's going on. You don't want God hardening your heart.
I don't know.
I don't want God hardening my heart.
Nah,
Huh?
it's good. God.
Tom Sheep.
Talk about
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refusest,
You know it's another definition for a hardened heart. He said to stop having kind or friendly feelings or care for someone. You got a hard heart. You're always downtrodden, screaming, and you don't show no sympathy, no mercy. That's why God, no mercy, no compassion, no kindness, no
not even
pleasantness.
no pity.
When you don't have these attributes, these are all
Godly
attributes of God.
Godly attributes.
Those are godly attributes. So when we don't have these attributes, you're a hard-hearted person. A hard-hearted person can't serve God. God's not hard-hearted. So we need to stop being hard-hearted. Okay, I'm not hard-hearted against the Lord, but you're hard-hearted against me.
Period.
You're hard-hearted against each other. You don't have a heart for this person, and he don't have a heart for you. You're hard-hearted. Tom Sheep.
And it came to pass by the way in the inn that the Lord met him.
And it came to pass at the end. Go ahead.
That the Lord met him and sought to kill him.
The Lord met who?
Moses.
God met Moses, and he was going to kill Moses. Let's see why God was going to kill Moses.
Then Zipporah took a sharp stone.
See, Zipporah was on point.
Yeah.
Zipporah is Moses' wife, and she was on point. She was linked. She was one with her man. And because of her being linked and one with her man, she was able to back up and pick up what was it that Moses missed out on? What did he overlook? What caused God to seek to kill her husband? That woman was on point in the spirit. She was elevated, where she was able to pick up. Listen, I need to hurry and get this done. She perceived these things. Let's see now. Let's read it.
Then Zipporah took a sharp stone.
And
cut off the foreskin of her son.
off the foreskin of her son. Her son was not circumcised. God was going to kill Moses for not circumcising his son. But he don't kill you for not circumcising your son. You know why? Because you ain't even important. You're not important enough for me to show you this or do things to you, because you haven't made yourself important. In order to make myself important, I gotta follow these laws, commandments, and statutes.
That's how you do it.
I gotta follow this to the T. The things that God killed you for in this book, he let you ride for it. That's right. You're of no importance in the eyes of God. So look what Zipporah did. Zipporah took a sharp stone, cut off the foreskin of her son, and cast it at his feet. To cast at his feet means what? To throw it. Now, in the English, it says to cast. In the Hebrew, it says nagah, nun, gimel, ayin. It means to approach, to touch, or to reach, which means after she circumcised her son, she prostrated. The only way to touch that man's feet is to prostrate herself.
Right.
She prostrated herself and reached for his feet.
That's
humble. That's humility.
That's what they would do with
That's
the husbands
humility,
and
man.
kings. That's right.
So what happened after that? What she said?
It said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me.
Uh-huh.
So he let him go.
Uh-huh.
Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said to Aaron, go into the wilderness and meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of God and kissed him.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him,
Mm-hmm.
and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went in together all the elders of the children of Israel. Verse 30.
Go ahead.
And Aaron spake all the words which the Lord had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed, and when they had heard the Lord had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads
Bow
and
their
worshiped.
heads and worship. Watch what you bow your head to. Bowing your head is another form of worship. And with that, I already got what was bought, and I'm gonna say, Kadamazot Shalom. Call up the next speaker, Chief Ricard, Ben Love.
Giving all praises to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Giving all due respect to my father and my teacher and my leader, Chief Eliazar Ben Dodo, the tribe of Lewi. Giving all due respect to chiefmen, princemen, mothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, visitors. I bid you out of the tongue of our God. I bid you out of the tongue of our God. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem.
Would you all please rise? And repeat after me. And God spake all these words, saying,
And God spake all these words, saying,
I am the Lord thy God,
I am the Lord thy
which
God,
have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
out of the house of bondage.
out of the house of bondage.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven
or any
image,
likeness of anything
or any likeness of anything
that is in heaven above,
that is in heaven above,
that is in the earth beneath,
that is in the earth beneath,
that is in the water under the earth.
or that is in the water under the earth.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
nor serve them.
nor serve them.
For I, the Lord thy God,
For I am the Lord thy God,
am a jealous God,
am a jealous God,
visiting the iniquity of the fathers
visiting the iniquity of the fathers
upon the children,
upon the children,
unto the third and fourth generation
unto the third and fourth generation
of them that hate me,
of them that hate
and
me,
showing mercy
and showing mercy
unto thousands of them that love me,
unto thousands of them that love me,
and keep my commandments.
and keep my commandments.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain,
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain,
for the Lord will not hold him guiltless
for the Lord will not hold him
that
guiltless
taketh his name in vain.
that taketh his name in vain.
Remember the Sabbath day,
Remember the Sabbath day,
to keep it holy.
to keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor,
6 days shalt thou labor,
and do all thy work.
and do all thy work.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
In it
In it
thou shalt not do any work.
thou shalt not do any work,
Thou,
thou,
nor thy son,
nor thy
nor
son,
thy daughter,
nor thy
nor thy
daughter,
manservant,
nor thy manservant,
nor thy maidservant,
nor thy
nor
maidservant,
thy cattle,
nor thy
nor
cattle,
thy stranger that is within thy gates.
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
For 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
For 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
the sea,
the sea,
and all that in them is,
and all that in them is,
and rested the seventh day.
and rested the seventh day.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day,
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day,
and hallowed it.
and hallowed it.
Honor thy father and thy mother,
Honor thy father and thy mother,
that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Thou shalt not murder.
Thou shalt not murder.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
nor his manservant,
nor his
nor his
manservant,
maidservant,
nor his
nor
maidservant,
his ox,
nor his ox,
nor his ass,
nor his ass,
nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Shavu. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and anointed the trumpet, and the mountains smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone, but thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem.
Before I go into the book, I just want to say something here, right? In order to serve God, you're going to get put into situations where you will have to swallow your pride sometimes. No matter how right you are, no matter how wrong you are. And that shows that you will not put yourself before what is right. Okay? Because this is what this is about. All of this, what we've been talking about, is about a person completing their job in serving God before you leave. We are on borrowed time. This life was given, it was given to you to live forever, but we messed that up. We messed that up. There is still a window there. It's a tight window. It's a narrow window. You know why I say it's tight and narrow? Because you can't do this, you can't eat this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's a lot of you can't do's, right, y'all? That's a fact. And that's how a lot of people feel. And that's why when certain things get said, there's going to be an uproar sometimes. Right. Everything will be good until you say something here in the law. Hey, if people are doing it, they're going to feel away. That's the natural reaction when you are out of pocket or out of place. After a certain amount of time, you should expect to hear about yourself. No. That's right. Okay, now we're going to go into songs. We're going to praise God today. Because we make this whole thing about the Israelites, about us, more than it is about God. Yeah. Okay? That's our problem. And it's not being done. Just remember this, there's only one way to be done. Nobody is doing it the same way. Like I was telling my man, you got different types of Christians, right? Yeah, you got a lot of. You got different types of Christians. No, they're Christians, but this Christian will do something this Christian won't do. Right or wrong, y'all? That's a fact. Same thing with the Israelites. That's true. Same thing with the people that call themselves Israelites. That's true. Because we got camps, we got sex, we got this, and then it boils down to families, and everybody doing it different. Oh man, I'm just pointing out what is happening. That's a fact. I'm not telling nobody what to do. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm pointing out to y'all what is going on. You are the same as the people in the world with funny clothes on. Because nobody's doing the commandments. Right. You're picking and you're choosing, right. And you're doing it how you want to do it. This is not something that you come here and do how you want to do. No. That's why Moses told the people, this is not about doing it. When you talk against us, you're really talking against. We just read who put God in this office. Right. We just read who put Aaron, who set up Moses is leading and Aaron is second. Who set that up? Most High. The Most High God. But the people had a problem with that. Yeah. You see that, right? Later on, it was like, yo, y'all doing too much. See what part where they say, y'all taking up too much upon yourselves? They say, man, y'all doing too much. That's what they said. Why don't you let us, you know what I'm saying? Who made you a leader? We're quick to say that. But then when the leader comes, you want to kill the leader. When the one that's in charge comes, you go against that one. Do you understand it? Versus, who made you a leader? Put it like this. Hey, man, listen, I don't want to talk to you. Where's the manager? I am the manager. No. That's what we do with God and with each other. You get it now? You know how y'all can get it now? Because I gave you a situation that we go through, but we don't realize it when you don't go through it. Selfish. And the reason why you're selfish is because pride has been lifted. That's why I said what I said. You have to learn. God is going to make you swallow your pride.
Yeah.
Say, you know what? I like this guy here. He's doing the right things here. Because see, when it gets to a certain thing concerning God, your pride gonna get in the way. But you're not gonna see it. You're gonna blame Dax. You're gonna blame me. I'm gonna say it happened because of this or because of that. Do y'all understand how this goes? Be careful. Everybody, me, everybody, be careful of your feelings. Because it's pride that running. These are the type of things that I was getting from my father before he left. The Lord, we got that. We mastered. When it comes to the Lord, it's presumptuous if we break it. Because we know that. We know how to do it. We know how to accomplish it. But he said, man, now the thing I've been dealing with is my insides, my spirit. He know what he said? I don't like how I am. Now he's the law, but he's talking about himself personally. Your character has to be a certain way personally with God in order to honor your mother and father, to honor the Sabbath day, to honor this, to honor these laws. To say, oh, you know what? We're not supposed to be eating this. See, when you give in to yourself, you're a weakling, you're a quitter, and you're a loser. America tells you what a loser is, but I'm going to tell you what God says a loser. All right? Anybody who served God ain't going to be looked up by people, even by the Israelites. Read it. There were times when you had godly men that got killed by their own people because he was the only one, or this group was the only one actually doing the commandments. Right. And it got to a point where they killed them. Right. One prophet said, thus said the Lord. Blah, 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 blah. King said, kill him. Because he said, thus said the Lord. It got to a point.
Yeah, once you say, thus said the Lord.
Once you say, thus said the Lord, you're dead. Yeah. I don't want to hear about no law. Yeah. Law? Once you say, God said, they killed you. Because you messing up what we got going on here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we Israelites. Yeah, we serve God. Yeah, that's the front. That's the cap. Okay? Can't be that way, man. We gotta shut our pride down because we all have that, and it has to get broken sooner or later. If you don't break it, God gonna break it, and you don't want God to break it. So it's best. If I pick this water up and swallow it down myself, then have you put it to my mouth and make me swallow. Right or wrong, y'all? It's much more easier to break myself. I'm breaking I'm not fully broke. I'm talking about the spirit, that hard, wicked spirit that stops you from serving God. That's the spirit that we talk about. That's the broken spirit. Yeah. That broken spirit is called a contrite spirit. Yeah. That contrite spirit is called a good heart. He got something good in his heart. In that, he has purpose in his mind to serve God. Yeah. I read a little and I hear a little and I put the puzzle pieces together. One part in Jeroboam, it said that Jeroboam, his child, was a newborn. He said, oh, look at this newborn. Newborn. Just got circumcised. Mm-hmm. He got circumcised on the 8th day. All of them did. Newborn. But God looked at that child and said, he got something his daddy ain't got. He got something his mother ain't got. Right. Look, he was born with way more good, kind of good. I'm not talking about doing good to people. This good that God is talking about is serving him. That's right. That's the good he was talking about. When she looked at Moses and seen a goodly child, she said, "Oh, he's so cute. Look at chubby cheeks and oh man." She looked and seen his temperament, how he cried. You can look at a child and see how they cry. They be, oh man, he gonna have an attitude problem. She gonna have an attitude problem. Am I right or wrong?
That's right.
Am I right or wrong,
That's
sisters? Because I'm a father. I can look and say, oh man, you gonna have a problem with this one here. But then I can look and say, hey man, that one there, you're gonna have it a little easy, man. You're gonna have one to balance you out, a good and bad. We see that, okay? They saw past that. They saw this child gonna serve God. Psalms chapter 38. This is David in his penitent state, in the state of saying sorry to God. These are one of the prayers that he says. These are the prayers that this is the stuff that kept him serving God. If he had pride, he wouldn't have been able to write this stuff. Right or wrong?
That's right.
He wouldn't have been able to write this stuff. I've done stuff to people years ago, right? Offended them, whatever. I didn't think I didn't know offended, but I was right. My pride was up. Later on, after I start chipping down after it, that's when thoughts come to me, right thoughts came to me and say, yo, you know what? You got to go and say something, man. You got to go and at least say it out your mouth and declare that what you did was wrong, man. That what you said was wrong, man. Yeah, but you didn't have to react. That reaction was wrong. And I would go to the person and I bring it. I said, man, come on, where you bringing that? I said, no, I never said. I acted like I was right the whole time. And I left it that way. Okay? I went back and apologized. And sometimes monetary value was involved. There were times where I broke stuff that didn't belong to me in my anger in another man's house. Yeah. And I didn't think, man, whatever. But that man, yes, that's it, man. I wouldn't have liked it if it was me that did it. Right or wrong?
Right.
I went, made certain things good. I said, yo, man, remember I broke this or this? I never gave this back to you. You can make it good, make it good. Even a robber man. In Ecclesiastes in here, it said, look, you robbed these people, you want to make it good? Give them back what you robbed them with. Can't do that to certain things. You did, you do it, you go into jail for the rest of your life.
Sure.
What I'm saying is, if you're looking for forgiveness from God.
Yeah.
Even me apologizing to you is really forgiveness, so that God could deal with me that way and give me mercy, because I need mercy. So I have to find ways to give it when you don't deserve it. Y'all got me now? How to become like God? Because God gives us all mercy that we don't deserve. So there's times when I got to swallow my pride and give mercy to, even though you don't deserve it. But you ran with my daddy, man. That's one instance. If he didn't have this in him, he wouldn't have thought nothing about his daddy. I wouldn't have thought nothing about my mother. I'm going to still say what I'm going to do and do what I'm going to say, regardless of how they're going to feel about the situation. Is that honor?
No.
So our pride makes us err. I think too highly of myself, and in the position, I don't like how I'm being talked to, so I just go, whoo!
Crazy.
Crazy, that's right. Can't be doing that. We have to be a poised people. Abraham was respected amongst the Canaanites, not meaning that you're going to get respected out here today. But when God is with you, he turned the tables for you. When God is with you, everybody's going to be good with you. And if I had no problem, say, oh, no, you good, you good. Look, a dude had a problem with all Israelites except you. I seen it in the book. They on their way marching against, they in chains. Again, this is way after, thousands of years after Egypt, because they didn't listen. They got put in chains again, and this time it's Babylon. That's why Jamaicans call the police Babylon. That's why. Because there was a time in history where they came and snatched us up and marched us back hundreds of kilometers, hundreds of miles across rough terrain that no man or animal go through. And everybody didn't make it. And somebody said, hey, Nebuchadnezzar, which is the captain, the general of the Babylonian soldiers, he said, hold up. This is Jeremiah. He said, come here, Jeremiah, get that stuff off of him. Get that, uncuff him, unhand him. He said, you the prophet of the Lord. He said, you the one that talked about us. You prophesied we was going to do this. You could go with us, but you ain't got to go with them. He said, oh, you could go back where you came from. Man, you could go and you could do whatever you want to do. Imagine that. Imagine you get arrested outside, scooped up, and you in a paddy wagon. You know, there's 1,000 of you in a paddy wagon, right? And then all of a sudden, another cop car come. The commissioner pull up. The commissioner don't come out here. The commissioner pull up. Or the chief pull up. Or the captain pull up. These are guys that, look, I don't care what happened. If they come and say, unhand that man, they letting you go. Am I right or wrong? No. That's what happened with Jeremiah. They stopped the car. And they looking in. They looking for you. They don't see you. This is what say, oh, you got such and such. Say, yeah, bring him out here. Uncuff that man. Nah, he don't belong here. Come on. Yo, you good? Yeah. Look. He ain't even gonna tell you why he letting you go. Nebuchadnezzar never said, yo, God told me to let, God didn't tell him let him go. Jacob said to his sons, why did you go and do this? When they hit up Shechem, they grabbed their sister, brought them back. Yo, you get killed messing with somebody's sister, man. It happens out here too. Look, and she know her brothers get it in, or her brother get it in. Oh no, you ain't gonna put your hands on me. She gonna let him know. And I'm coming. It happens. They dragged them back. Jacob said, why you did that? Now we got beef with everybody. You're going to cause my name to stink. They didn't like that. Even if they were heathens. Certain things we don't do to cause our name and God's name to stink amongst the heathens. Moses said, oh God, nah, they're going to talk about you. That's why God stopped. I could break it down in layman's terms exactly what this means, because a lot of old English don't get to people and they act like they don't understand. Be on the phones all day, but you don't understand when you open up the book. So, like he said, if you do this, they're going to say God couldn't handle these people. He promised them a land, and when he couldn't handle them, he killed them all. They're going to talk. Who he said? The Egyptians. Not everybody in the world. He said the Egyptians. But remember, you just played them up for these people. And they're going to say, look, could have left them right here. Because that's how we are. That's how we are. Ready to criticize God and his movements. We criticize you criticize your parents. People criticize their parents every day. I'm talking about Israelites. And they just white, back in the days, it was just white kids. It was just white kids. Ah, come on, man, leave me alone, man. And a couple of black kids I know. Now it's worldwide, spread it out. Y'all see what's going on? Y'all see what outside of this law makes a family? The whole family gonna break up. Because either the man we can't do it no more. If something happened, they gonna break up. Or she leave off, or he get killed, or she kicks him out. These the things that happen. Now that the father's not around, there's nobody to put their foot down.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the sons and the daughters grow up in the house with their own mentality.
Word.
And because the mother has a problem with submitting to or being told what to do, she's not going to put no discipline on the son, especially her son. She'll do it more with the daughter. I'm telling y'all through experience. I know how this goes. All right? And that's the first sign of them being feminized.
Say it again.
That's the first sign of feminization of the man.
Uma.
Then you got the second stage. The laptop, tablet, phones. They see it in people's hands so much. I have a friend that has a baby. Baby's not a year yet. He can't even walk yet. The phone? He don't know how to use the phone yet. But he want one. She went and bought a phone just so he could have one and play with it. Put it in his mouth, slobber all over it. He's not using the phone. Y'all understand learned human behavior now? They got a thing called Gracie's Corner. Kids. Okay? What I would suggest, oh yeah, but it's a learning thing. Even the learning stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I said, man, y'all gotta start reading and understanding what you're reading so you can learn how to download stuff off of YouTube. You can download stuff off of this, download this video there. You can't leave it the whole thing just running because there's corruption in there too.
Yeah.
What's this dude name? What the name they said? There's a cartoon called Gracie's Corner. Teaching them, they sing songs. One of these three and running, over hip hop beats and all this stuff. And while we talking, I just happen to hear a voice, a character that's on there. Look, it's a woman. But I'm hearing a man. Big Frida. That's the name.
Oh, shoot. I know exactly.
Big Frida. Okay? That was the name.
Favorite rapper.
On the cartoon for kids who can't even talk yet. All right? So either way, they're going to get feminized. So you got to watch this. And you know what I said? Hey, I said, why don't you go to the next one, man? You know, I'm listening, but that's a man. That's a woman, but I'm hearing a man. He said, oh, that's Big Frida. I said, hey, that's a tranny or something. I said, man, forward that. I said, don't make him sit there and look at that.
That's crazy. Ridiculous.
Give him a chance. Don't leave him victim to that. So you can't allow your kids to just leave alone and watch anything, man. It's everywhere. Y'all understand that, man? And it didn't have an effect on her. She didn't think like it. I said, well, all right, some woman, you tell them that, they were like, oh, word, they will cut it off.
No, yeah.
But most ain't doing that. They down with this. So I said, just remind me of my man. He said, well, you like it that your son is, you know what I'm saying? You okay with that? And this is the question that people ask parents now. What if your son or your daughter come to you and say that they're gay? I said, get out my face, because you ain't going to like the answer, and I'm going to punch you in your face. Get out my face with all of that, man. Don't ask me, I don't answer those questions. Don't come to me, because you know the answer already. Me, you know the answer already. Get out my face. My son, my daughter, they better not come. I better find out about it. Don't even think about come telling me no junk like that. And that's how you got to be bringing these children up. That's how you got to be. If my pops wasn't hard harder than hard on me, I would not be here right now.
Yes,
If my pops wasn't hard on me,
Yeah.
see these hard teachings, y'all think we be teaching hard? If my father did not teach and grill me and trip and chip and get on me the way he did, I would not be standing here. I would not be here. I'd be still celebrating 420 in the eclipse. I would not be here. I'd be outside washing my bench.
Worship.
I wouldn't be here. I'd be doing overtime at work. I wouldn't be here. I would be out hustling, trading, buying. I wouldn't be here. I'd be home with my wife and kids that are Americanized. I wouldn't be here. If it don't come hard, you're not going to listen.
Yes.
The wicked complain when it's come hard.
Yeah.
These are hard laws. You can't do nothing. They're going to make you hard.
Oh, yeah.
Because after a while, life gets serious. Because I'm not into this and that and this. This is not my entertainment. That. This is my all now. You're not going to get a guy that's laughing and jokey too much. And when it comes to this, it gets to a level where something can happen to you if you play with me with this. So that causes what? Separation. But we don't see eye to eye no more. And that's why families break up. That's why marriages break up. That's why even pimps and hoes break up. It's a code to that too. Okay? Yeah. Once they started breaking off of the pimp and going on their own back page, it went crazy. That's when everybody started getting raped and shot and killed. And when you had your pimp, I'm just showing y'all the mindset. Okay? I'm just showing you a mindset. Take nothing I say out of context, because I know Israelites, I know black people, and I know social media people. You take one word, and that one word to social media means don't even mean that word no more. It means something else. So don't take nothing I say out of context. I'm showing you a pattern of what happens when you go off on your own. If I had went off on my own, if I went off and started my own camp, I wouldn't be here now. Because everything came through, certain things had to be validated from my father for me to do these things. That's why I'm still here.
That's right.
He commanded me not to go anywhere. And Chief Shammah is the ambassador. If anybody got to go to another camp anywhere, Chief Shammah goes. These are the commandments of my father. These are the commandments of my father. And just because he's dead now does not mean I change him or forgot him because I have dishonored them. You know, you can still dishonor your parents in death after they die. They're going to leave instructions for you.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Been doing this for a while, y'all. Been around I was around the camp that started it. And I see how it is now. A lot of things, certain things got a little better, but on the most part, the law, the level of law and discipline for the law, discipline for the Shabbat in these days was higher back then than it is now. It's higher. The discipline was higher. Okay? Everybody wanted to grow their beard. Everybody wanted to grow their hair. We didn't have that look in Israel. And we read this stuff every day. But we got a problem with following. The only reason why you follow is because you like what you're following. Yeah. That's why God said, do not follow the people round about you. Well, I ain't serving no God. I ain't bowing down to God, but you following the people that bow down to God.
Following the customs.
This guy you got common things with, he believes in other gods, in deities and idols. You don't have to do none of that. Follow him in everything he do. Look like him. We are starting to look like more like everybody else than what Israel's supposed to look like. I had so much to say, I didn't even get into the chapter yet. We have, look, some of us look like Muslims. Some of us look like 5%ers. Some of us look like black Jews. Some of us just look like Bloods and Crips. Some of us look like Israel. Look, what's up? When are we going to start admitting to ourselves, man, that we ain't doing nothing? Name 3 laws that you've been doing straight for the past year. 3. Non-stop. You never forgot. You didn't miss. Nobody had to tell you nothing. Nobody had to correct you. Give me 3. Okay? Let's start being honest with you. These are, see the things I'll be telling y'all. This is the stuff my Abba used to tell me. So I'm not giving y'all something that I know don't work. That's what Moses said. Moses said, yo, man, this is of the Lord, man. Joshua said, yo, don't think like that. Those people over there are made for bread. God already, man, we gonna eat them up. They're bread. They ain't no Joshua and Caleb, man, they ain't none of them people ain't nothing y'all scared of them. God already commanded you not to fear them. That's why he said, fear me. Love me with all your heart, soul, and might. Because love, now let me tell you about love. If I love you, I can be angry with you and still set limits in that anger because of love. Right. So I can be in love with my woman and be angry at her. But I'm not going to do her. It's not going to drag and go into something. It's not going to be harsh. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She's going to get mercy from me, even if she deserved harsh treatment over me. Or, you know what? I ain't even going to be mad. You know why? Because I need that mercy from God. So I got to have somebody to drop this on to show God that I'm sorry. Y'all get how love go? I'm not going to do this to you because I love you. But I got to talk to you, though. I'm not going to come at you like this because I love you. But I got to talk to you, though. I got to talk to you. Not yell, curse, or threat, or deny. But I got to talk to you. What's wrong with that? If I love you and if you love me, love. So I can still be upset with you and love you. But I can't, if I hate you, I'm angry all the time with you. Mm-hmm. For anything that you do. So it's either you hate or you love. You can't show me both. You can't have both. You got to pick a side. That's what they're saying today. Pick a side. Because hate ain't going to give you no limit. No. Y'all both did the same thing. But I shoot you and I pat you on the back. What does that mean? I hated you and I loved you. That's it. No, am I making this up, y'all?
No.
All right? Dig yourselves. Let's dig ourselves. Y'all did the same thing. Nothing happened to you. Something happened to you. Who I love and who I hate. We're showing these things. And then we're reacting upon it. And then it's too much. Because that is what Satan wants. I told y'all months ago. Watch it. He gonna spark little things up and stuff gonna go down. Because he don't want my father to complete what he started. He don't want us to finish this. Gotta finish the story. He's not in the church messing with them. They're happy. Most Israelites in the world serve the Christian God. I'm letting y'all know this right now. Most Christians out west, in different places, Midwest, there's a few majority of Israelites that don't believe in that. with world Israelites. I'm talking about black people Israelites, world Israelites. Okay? You got all types of different Israelites now.
Crazy.
Be careful. They're not doing nothing that the Lord say. They're not doing nothing in here. Matter of fact, it's a bunch of confusion because a lot of different books are being used. Yeah. So I'm reading one book, you reading another book. You're gonna disagree with me, I'm gonna disagree with you. Because the more books that they print takes away from the 10 Commandments you just read. It softens up. It doesn't. Some of them don't even say thou shalt not no more. It said you shouldn't. You should not. It's not a command form. I don't think you should do that. Yo, don't do that. It's two different things, right or wrong? All right. Okay, we'll revise. Go ahead.
Oh Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath.
He said, oh Lord, rebuke me not in your wrath. Yo, don't hit me up when you mad. Please, God. Please. Because you don't want God mad at you and to hit you up when he get mad. Because he's going to wipe you out. He'll turn your everybody has an innermost fear because you don't fear God. You understand me? And he will use that against you. He will let your enemy get you and laugh at you. You don't want him mad at you. And you don't want him to have to rebuke you while he's mad. Tom sheet.
Oh Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath. Neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure.
Because right now we not in pleasure with God. We don't pleasure him. We don't please. Pleasure comes from the word please. We do not do the things that please him. There are things that we have to do that please him. And that's these commandments and our ways and the statutes and the judgments and the orders. Okay? Tom sheet.
For thine arrow sticks fast in me, and thy hand presseth me sore.
He said, because your arrows, your words, your actions, they stay on me. That's why I say a gift, the gift of a curse or the gift of a blessing or the pronouncement of a curse stays on you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want $10 million. Not one, not two, not three, not four. $10 million. People would say I'm blessed. I might even start thinking I'm blessed, especially if my pride is high with $10 million. I'm going to say, God bless me. Somehow I did something good, but I didn't. I did damn thing good. Because 10 years from now, I'm broke. Was that a blessing? It wasn't no blessing. Look at money as a blessing. God gave Solomon, he gave Solomon riches because Solomon wasn't looking for riches. God had a chance.
He wasn't chasing the bag.
He said, what, say that again? He wasn't chasing a bag. He wasn't thinking about a bag. I'm going to be hearing stuff and say, yeah, today everything is about the bag now. Don't get caught up. Yes, we got to pay bills, got to eat, got to do it. But trying to get rich or die trying is not the way. It's not the way. Use that money to buy garments. Use that money in services for the Shabbat. Tax yourself. That's what the church people do to their stuff. That's what they did back then to uphold the temple and the reverence in the sanctuary. That was part of reverence in the sanctuary. We're not mindful enough of God and the things that's going to help us stay in line with God. We don't have that happening. Tom sheet.
There is no soundness in my flesh because of thine anger. Neither is there any rest in my bones because of my sins.
He's not comfortable. He know he messed up with God.
Sorry.
Little kids in school used to get scared when the teacher say, I'm gonna call your mother, I'm gonna call your father. They used to get scared. Oh, please, no, I'm gonna do it, Miss such and such. Now, yeah, I'm gonna call your mother. So call my mother. I don't care. I call her for you. I got my own phone. I call her for you. Like, she not going to do nothing. She can't tell me what to do. My mother can't tell me what to do. When my mother tell me shut up, I don't shut up. I keep going. She can't tell me what to do. When my daddy tell me leave it alone, I don't leave it alone. He can't tell me what to do. So what you talking about? There's little kids I'm seeing doing that. This is not right. It's not good. This man, this godly man said, no, man, I'm all bent and messed up because you upset with me, God. I'm not sound. You know what sound mean? I'm not in peace. Okay? I'm discomfortable because my mother not talking to me right now. She's mad at me. My father's mad at me. And God is mad at me. Okay? Look, my woman, I love her. She mad at me. I'm not comfortable either. Who is? What man is? Come on, man. What man is? You're going to be like, oh, come on, baby. Come on. Let's stop this, man. Some men get mad and try to fight fire with fire. Not me. I'm not, oh, come on. It's over with now. Come on, man. Because this is my woman. I'm serving God with her. This is my confidant. She the only one that know me. She the only woman I trust. She the only woman I die. I will put my get in front of you, baby, and take the bullets. So this is all love, y'all. So yeah, for who I love, it's not too good with us. It's gonna burn me a certain way. I'm not gonna say, oh well, get it. I'm going home. I'll see y'all later. I'm good. I'm out. We leave each other in these situations, man. I don't like it, man. God don't like it. God said it's beautiful to see brethren together and dwell, mean live together in unity. Then he compared it to the precious ointment, that oil, that olive oil that ran down the beard, down the beard, not the chin that looked like a little baby's behind. And so I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. It ran down the beard, Aaron's beard, and even ran down to the skirts, robes of his garment. Sorry about that again, y'all. Sometimes I have little outbursts. Sorry about that. Touch you.
For my iniquities are gone over my head. As a heavy burden, they are too heavy.
He said, man, look. David is not the type of man that's going to say, I ain't did nothing wrong. Is he?
No.
When Nathan told him, Nathan said, boom, this, that, and the third. He said, yo, you are that man. David didn't say, how am I him? Me? The first thing he's going to say, me? David didn't do that. As soon as he said, thou art that man, his rights, the righteousness in him, the right that's in him, and the heart that he wants to have for God, allowed him to swallow his pride and say, I have sinned. He didn't look at Nathan and say, what? Yo, you know who you talking to? Yo, string him up. But that's what other kings did because their pride was too high. And they killed their brother when all their brother wanted to do was show them where they was wrong at. Or when all their brother did was send a message from God. The prophets did not willfully on their own come to you and tell you nothing. God told the prophets who to go to. He told one prophet, go to Syria. Certain prophets went to other kings and berated and rebuked other kings. God was with those prophets. Those were the only ones that did that. Why do you think Moses said, yo, if you just step to the king and then requesting, yo, you gotta let my people go, you know he's gonna kill you. Pharaoh's gonna kill you. That's why Moses said to God, if I go there like this, God said, don't worry. He said, I'm going to go with you. I will be there with you. After that, okay, good, I'm good. I don't care now. I don't care how many guns they point at me. God tell me he's with me and I'm gonna be good. I believe that 100%. So I'm a move a certain way now because I know it ain't nothing gonna happen to me. And that's how we gotta believe these commandments. That same type of belief. You see that? With that same type of direct belief, that's what got Abraham in. If Abraham didn't believe wholeheartedly, it wouldn't have went down that way. Time sheet.
I am troubled. I am bowed down greatly. I go mourning all the day long.
Look, man. He fasted and prayed during the week, most of the week. Like who did? Which is Manasseh's wife. She only ate on days like this and on Shabbat. So that tells you that you can't fast on Shabbat also. That's what that told me. You can't fast. Certain things you can't do on Shabbat, man. You can't have sex on Shabbat with your wife, man. You can't have sex with your husband on Shabbat, Isha, because we got more aggressive women today. You cannot have sex. Yeah, it's true. Look. What she told Yosef, come lie with me. In her man's house.
Yeah. Good luck.
She want to mess with the help. Did she take no for an answer?
Nope.
Foreign women are like that. Out there right now, they like that. Yeah. Very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
They want it now. They don't care. I don't care if I'm married and you married. They don't care about that. They will get you in trouble with God. Man, it's a whole proverb talking about the adulterous woman. It's not wrong. And tell you how she moved. She moves slick. When she make the move on you, look, she got her eyes on you. Nobody gonna know but you. She's gonna grab you. And when you run, if you're godly, you're gonna run like Yosef. Yosef ran, and she was able to, because that's how I know they wore loose garments, loose robes. Okay. Grab onto this, and I'm running away. It's gonna tear.
Yeah.
It don't happen with the prophet in Saul, right or wrong.
Right.
He said the same way you just grabbed and rent that. He said God gonna run the kingdom. I would say freestyle on them right there. So freestyle prophecy, because a lot of times the prophet, you do certain things to the prophet, they're gonna see he's gonna spit for you. He's gonna freestyle something. He's gonna give you a prophecy that's not good for you. He's gonna give you something. Those are the wrong ones to mess with. Go up, down, bald head. Go up, down, bald head.
Word.
Oh, you like to tease.
Mutilated.
Okay?
God.
So don't think because they called him bald head, he shaved. You see, when you start getting old as a man, you start losing teeth, you start losing hair. Yeah, look at me. Right here, you start balding. It's to everybody. Everybody gets old. God bless you if you live to see your oldness.
That's a fact.
It's like these young people today and everybody today don't want to see their old age. They have a thing against old people. They have a thing against older rappers. They have a thing against everything that's a certain age and over. They don't want to listen. You don't notice that, man?
Call a nigga old at 30.
So you don't notice that these people are ungodly?
Old head.
The hoary head walk in and say, rise before the hoary head. But we only rose before the hoary head of our people.
Yeah.
If I'm in a bus and a man comes in and his face is hoary headed, I don't have to stand up for him. A lot of these laws were for each other because we lived around each other back then. We didn't live amongst heathens like today. A Jamaican up there, from say Croy here, this one from Alabama, she's from Europe, he's from it. We didn't have that there. That's why God said, kill all those people. Because I don't want you living amongst those people. You cannot serve God living amongst strange people and heathens. Can you?
It won't work.
That's why you gotta get away from your family.
It won't work.
And if they don't understand, well, tough. They will. When they see 20 years pass, you're still doing this. And they gonna come and say, hey, I respect, I see you. I thought it was just a phase you was going through, child. I thought it was this, I thought it was that. They're gonna respect you. It take time. All these things take time. Okay? It takes time. Time shit.
For my loins are filled with a loathsome disease, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am feeble and sore broken. I have roared by reason of the disquietness of my heart. Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my groaning.
You already said all my desires are before thee, meaning everything that I desire is correct. Everything that's in my heart is correct before you, because I know you can see everything. Yo, this dude here, David was something else, man. The stuff that he say, I can't say. Certain songs I don't mess with. That's another thing Marva told me. He said certain songs you don't mess with, period. Because those were his personal songs.
What?
Where he talking about his hearts. Mm-hmm. He says, he told God, look at my heart. You will not find no iniquity in it. That's how we supposed to be. That's how we all supposed to be, man. Moses said, I wish everybody, what you want me to beat those guys up? They prophesying, but God, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I wish everybody would prophesy. That's what Moses said. I wish everybody would do God's law. I wish the whole world would do God's law. If it was up to me, everybody would be doing it. Everybody. It would be a whole reconstruction throughout the whole planet. All idols would get blown up. That would be the first. That would be a big celebration. All idols get blown up and destroyed. Or you get visited by God now. That's the heart that Moses had, man. I'm not selfish. I want everybody to do this, man. No, why are you doing that to the brother, man? You here? Why he can't come and serve God? Come on, man. And you ain't even doing everything God say. And you want to say who could come and serve God or not?
You just black.
You dig this? Mm-hmm. We got some people here, you got some nerve, man. You ain't even serving God. And you concerned about what that white boy doing here. What that Chinese guy doing here. Who that white sister there? Come on, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's over for that.
About the wrong stuff.
Y'all see what's going on?
Ridiculous.
Stand and told me God made everybody to serve him. It just didn't turn out that way. And you don't even serve him right. People want mercy. They want mercy from God. Don't give none. Time sheet.
My heart panted. My strength failed me.
You would think he talking about a girl. This is the stuff that I hear men make songs for girls. My heart is aching. I'm panting. This is how it is with him and God. He had a real personal relationship with God. He was committed to God, man. And that's how much it affected him. Time sheet.
It also is gone from me. My lovers and friends stand aloof from my verse 10. My heart panted. My strength failed me. As for the light of mine eyes, it also is gone from me. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my soul.
You know what that means? The closest ones to me, they're not there with me. They stand aloof. You know what I mean? You over there, I keep my distance. If I do come around, it's for 5 minutes and then I'm gone. I'm avoiding. That's what what he's going through. And nobody's there to help him in his affliction. He's alone with this. It's not a good feeling. Tough sheet.
My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sword, and my kinsmen stand afar
My
off.
lovers, his woman, his wives, those are his lovers, and his friends keep away from him. He said, and his kinsmen, that's his family, cousins, nieces, this and that. That's how they was treating David. His family was even treating him bad, man. Why? Because he was being a just man. They didn't like a lot of his decision making. But his decisions had to be correct before God. And you gotta remember, he's a king. And I can't, and anybody who has been given the power to sentence one to a conviction, a punishment, has to be just and correct before God. That's why I said, all the judges, ye shall judge in righteousness. So I can't pick a side. My imam always said, if you are wrong, you're wrong. That's it. There's no in between. Because you can't justify it. Time sheet.
They also that seek after my life lay snares for me.
Remember, Saul was chasing him all over the place. A lot of people wanted to kill David, man. David was in their way. When you got a bunch of wicked people and one godly man, he is in their way.
No, that
Okay.
makes sense, yeah.
You know what I mean by that, right? He's a godly man gonna say, hey man, we gotta stop doing this and this here because it's none of the law. And blah 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 blah. Right? Then look, I pull you to the side and say, yo, man, we gotta get rid of this guy. Because it's gonna stop the money we got coming in. You know, it's gonna stop all the people we got, the connection, all the silver that we get. One man said, I don't care if you fill my house up with silver. You was there, you heard what the king said. Some shit.
And they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceit all the day long. But I, as a deaf man, heard not.
He didn't pay attention to it. He said, as a deaf man, I heard it not. He wasn't deaf, but he sometimes, you know what? I know that I can hear you talking about me. I'm not gonna pay that no more. That's what he's saying. As a deaf man, I heard it not, and I was as a dumb man that opened it not his mouth. I didn't answer it. So I said sometimes, and look, this is him swallowing his pride, right? Remember, not saying you got to be a Vic and let people think they can intimidate you, but I have to break my pride down. Okay, and give it up even when I don't feel like it in order to honor. Y'all understand that? We still got to, all of us still have too much pride in us because we don't accept when we are wrong. We don't accept God's laws. When somebody say, but hey, man, we not supposed to do that. It says this. It's not supposed to be a problem no more. We're not listening to our lessons. Y'all are not going home doing homework. You know what y'all homework is, right? Read the book every day. That's where your mind's supposed to be at. Not on me, not on this guy, not on her. I got a house to uphold. I don't have time to have my mind in your house. It says, speak not of other men's lives. Because you know why? Because that's all you're going to do is speak of other men's lives. You ain't going to do nothing in your life because that's your energy now. Because that's all everybody do. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, you got to go to your house. Is it right before God? Do you have images in your house? Do you have unclean items in your refrigerator? Come on, man. Where is the love? We all of this, we're still on love. All of this, we're still on the word LOVE. I love you. Love you. We're still on that. Y'all don't know love. Y'all are very selfish with love. You want it all, but you don't like to give it. That's the problem. That's why God said, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be where?
On our heart.
Before you put it anywhere else, it gotta be in your heart, man. How you get these words in your heart? By talking to yourself. I told
By the
you,
way,
the world tells you if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. But God tells you, talk to yourself, and it'll keep you right. Because that's how you become circumspect. And you're the only person gonna listen to you. He gonna listen to me. He said, I don't know who Mick think he is. Yeah, I was wrong, but he ain't talking to me like that. Okay, so you need to talk to yourself like that. Talk to yourself like that. My pride's so high, nobody could tell me I'm wrong. I gotta stop being wrong. Am I correct? Who everybody think they are? Who are you? We're making this more about ourselves than God. We make it more about ourselves than his laws.
Mhm.
I get into an argument with you about his law, and then the argument wound up somewhere else. He said, man, how all this started? No, because we was in the law said, wait a minute. How I got to that? I'll tell you how I got to that. It was personal. It had nothing to do with the law. I was waiting for a reason to get it in. Stop it, y'all. All call Israel, all families, all brethren, all sisters. Stop it. There is no love at all. Somebody show a soft shoulder, you break their shoulder. Wow. Who can I trust? Supposed to be my people. That's why these laws is for each other. 1/3 of it is the worship of God. The rest is us. Because if I steal, who I steal from? I don't steal from God. God ain't got nothing for me to steal. I can't go where his house at and take nothing. I'm not even going to get in there.
Zero access.
I'm not going to get there. Flaming cherubims and swords all over the place with eyes all over. That's like you got cameras all over your body. That's how the angels move. Some angels you don't want to see. Everything about God is what we say. But the wicked, it's not a good sight. And even Moses spared God and heard about God so much, he hid his face. See, pride will make you want to look so you can see your God and then go tell everybody what he looked like and make cartoons out of him and write him and draw him. And right here, you'll see him here, a little bit. Then you'll see him over here. You look at kids, they doodling. You see that there. It's in memes. It's in videos. It's in porn. It's in this. It's in that. God is a holy God. That's why he don't show his face. That's why he's called the mysterious one, the hidden one, the one who sits between the cherubims, who talked to Moses through smoke, but he was right there.
Amen. It's a fact.
Time sheet.
But I, as a deaf man, heard not,
I didn't pay no mind to it.
and I was as dumb.
I act like I know what? I'm not even gonna talk. I'm not even gonna say nothing on that. Look. I could say something on that and shut it down, but all I'm gonna do is make myself feel better. And it's gonna cause disruption. Like I said last week, put water on it, not more fire. If we love each other, put more water on it, not fire. If we love each other. That's all. You can stop a matter by throwing water on it.
That's true.
Stop putting more dry wood on it, man.
Amen.
And I want to throw a bigger piece of dry wood on it. And then now you want to throw a bigger piece. And I want to throw a bigger piece. And we're going to, come on.
Burn it down.
You're going to burn it down. We got to keep this.
Amen. You're right.
All members involved.
You're right.
Time sheet.
Thus I was as a man that heareth not, and in whose mouth are no reproof. But in thee, O Lord, do I hope.
See, because some people you don't even bother with, there's no reproof in that person's mouth.
Zero.
As long as you're not going against the command of the house, I got nothing to say to you. Talk on. Because there's no reproof in your mouth. Meaning, you are not going to receive correction for yourself. And I can hear by what you're saying that you don't correct yourself
At all.
So who am I? See, you can correct me in this because I correct myself. But if I don't correct myself, you ain't telling me nothing. Y'all get that? That this is about me correcting myself. Everybody shouldn't have to be telling me I'm wrong or I'm right or wrong. It shouldn't be that way. Oh, no, and I got to start admitting my faults. Where I go wrong at. I have a hand in this also. Takes two to tango. Takes two to cha-cha-cha. I can't do the waltz by myself. See, this is me doing a waltz by myself. I look like I'm bugged out. I look like I'm bugging. You come in the room and see me doing this, you say either he's drunk or we're about to lose Mick. Because certain dances, you need a partner. You need two. And when you dance with someone, someone has to lead and someone has to follow. I learned this. As you get older, you learn things and you learn the pattern of how things go. Let's have a heart, man, with each other. A little bit more of a heart with each other. Tells you. I don't think God will be mad at us for that. I would just say it like that. I really don't think God's gonna be mad at that. Tells you.
I said, hear me, lest otherwise they should rejoice over me. When my foot slippeth, they magnify themselves
He
against
said, no, man. He said, they want to see me go down. He said, even when I make a mistake in earth. He said, they magnified themselves against me. Oh, see what he did? See what he did? See what she did? See what I did? And I start to magnify, meaning I make myself bigger, make you small. God, he said it. Ancient world, ain't nothing new under the sun. That's why I said, get ready to hear about yourselves. And I'm talking to me also. If I don't keep myself in check, I'm gonna get into stuff and I'm gonna say things and I'm gonna offend and I'm not gonna show no love. Chumshy.
I am ready to halt, and my sorrow is continually before me. But I will declare my iniquities. I will be sorry for my
That's why
sins.
this is called a prayer of penitence, because it's not about them. It's not about the evil people. It's not about these guys. Too much attention is being thrown outward instead of in. Look, you don't want God, you don't want people to do good no more than God wants people to do good. All right? You can't cry for my kid more than I can cry for my kid. All right? You can't be mad at something I made, you didn't make it. That's the whole thing he was telling Jonah. You vex yourself with the gourd. Now that the gourd is gone, you tight because the gourd is gone. You didn't make it. You didn't make it. How you tight? How you don't know that it's still a seed down there? Because God made everything different. God made everything different for his purpose in his existence. Let's go upstairs now. It's time. The laws is physical. Let's go upstairs now and stop letting Satan, itch you off. Little scratch, you go and tear your clothes off. We are too edgy. We're too edgy. We're too uptight. You're too miserable. And you serve God?
Good work.
You ain't got no Egyptians cracking no whip over you. This is the easiest captivity. No, not captivity. Easiest banishment. Because this is banishment.
Exile.
This was easy. This banishment, this exile is easier than all those captivities put together. Because you can serve whatever God you want to serve. Back then, you want to serve what I tell you or you die. Right? My whole family, wife, If you don't bow down now, you dead. That was the world that they was living in back then. Now that everybody has a choice, everybody got a choice, everybody go towards the devil. Nobody want to do what God said. Nobody want to do the right thing. Nobody want to see nobody do the right thing. This is a misery love company world like crazy, man. Why you think the prophets didn't sit with the people? They didn't have no house. You didn't have, oh, well, Elijah's penthouse is over here. His mansion is over there. And he got an estate there. Those guys, a lot of people didn't like him. Because when you tell people what God said, they are going to get mad at you. Your family is going to get mad at you. Your wife is going to get mad at you. Your son is going to get mad at you. Your daughter is going to get mad at you. That's why they hurry up and try to find a reason to leave the house and get on with their life. That's why. Yep. You don't get married before it's time to get married. You ain't even learned yet the ways of God, and you want a wife. What you gonna teach her? It's the only thing you know is to get in the bed and to play video games and the ways of the street. What you gonna teach her? What you gonna teach her? Nothing. You gotta know. And you gotta have something. Lisa, man, you gotta have something going on to take care of her, man. Can't be no lame head in this and gonna get married. Then you're gonna have kids. They're gonna be even more dumber in this. You think they're gonna stay in the way? Look at our kids today. Look at the ones 12, 13, 14, and 15 years old. All the Israelite children. Think of all the Israelite children that you know of, the next generation. Do you really think most of them are going to stay doing God's law? No. Think about it. More than half of the Israelite children today, unfortunately, it's sad to say, because it started already. Yeah. It started already. There's a lot of them out there with Hebrew names, wearing pajamas with their family on Christmas Day. Oh. Yeah. Oh, Shalom. Who you? I know you, Iman. I remember you was little. My name is Bathsheba. And did it. Oh, okay. Well, like she just came out the strip club. Or she about to go to the strip club. Well, so y'all still do that, right? What you mean? Y'all say, you damn right I'm gonna still do this. This ain't no fad. This wasn't something to join and leave. To leave the Christian house, leave the Christianity. Come here for a while and then go back to that and do more. No. Look, you can't be blood and then crip and then blood and then crip. You set triple. Pick a side. Pick a side. Because then both sides gonna be like, yo, you keep going back and forth. Marxism. They ain't not gonna want you. Marxism. We ain't with that Marxism over here, homie. Come shoot.
But my enemies are lively, and they are strong. And they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied.
Most of the time it's like that. Our enemies is more of them. We're always outnumbered. They got more money than us. They got fame. But what is fame? What is fame to a godly man? A bunch of people who don't serve God. I like him. Hey. What is fame? Nothing. All these celebrities, now they 60, 50 something years old. You know what they're saying? Man, if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't even do this. People and their fans is looking up to them because those are their idols. Celebrities are also idols. They're living idols. So I put them on a stage and they perform and you praise them and cheer them and throw roses and throw things. All this comes from ancient Rome. Theater comes from ancient Rome. Sports come from ancient Rome. Yep. Museums. Chuck E. Cheese. Playgrounds. Art galleries. Restaurants. Diners. I could go on and on. Strip joints. Lounges. Bars. We don't belong in none of those places.
Saunas.
Okay? Huh? Sauna. No, you don't go to no sauna. I'm not sitting. I could go in my bathroom and do what these guys do. Watching a movie, Big Italian Boss. He wanted to meet the Big Italian Boss. He had to go into the sauna. He said, son, he said, look, you want to meet the boss? You want to meet the boss? You got to go. You got to meet the boss. So now he got to go to this place where it's only men because they don't mix. I got to get naked
Put a towel
and
on.
strip myself. A little skimpy towel. They don't look. They like jail. They don't give you a towel to fully wrap you up. They
Got
give
a
you a
slit
little
on
thing.
the
They
side.
do it on purpose
With a
so
slit on
you
the
can
side.
reveal yourself, man. They dirty, man. And then you go sit down in there, and you can hardly see anybody. And the steam. The
100,000.
steam for overweight people that can't stop eating unclean things that contain high amounts of cholesterol. I'm sorry, y'all. But I told y'all gonna hear it today. In a nice way, too. I'm not mad. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm good. Because a lot of people say we be mad. But I tell them it's
Passion.
Yo, the passion of God, the zeal of God will make you kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't mean it. In your regular self, you wouldn't have done it. But when it comes to the move for the Most High, no man or woman could stop you. Y'all understand that? That's why God got mad at them. He said, how long is it going to take for them to believe me? I told them, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid. I got you. I'm going to be there. Joshua and Caleb said, man, don't do this. That's why God said, yo, those two guys is 100%. A holy, W-H-O-L-L-E, means they complete the whole circuit. Like the angel told my Abba, when you complete the circuit, you out of here. They completed their time in doing God to the point where they got it already. They didn't have to go to the land. And Joshua. These guys were blind allegiance guys. The blind allegiance guys are the guys that God accepts. Because they don't have pride in them.
No.
And if they look, if they do, it's muffled for God.
Deep down.
Got pride in me, but when certain things, certain people, well, muffle it. We don't have no control over that. Come on. What's up? Exercise your integrity and strength, man. Exercise the power that God gave you to rule your spirit. Rule it, man. It's yours. God gave it to you. He told you it could be ruled. He told you how it goes. If you go against these commandments, you leave an opening in your spirit, meaning that there's stuff out here in the spirit world that's not good for you, that's going to keep you away from here. But you keep it open and you keep that gate open and you're letting stray dogs in the house. You keep the gate open and the roaches get in. You keep the gate open and now the raccoons are coming in, the skunks is coming in. All those creatures is metaphorically sin. That's how it gets into you. What we do with our hands, all right, and what we do in our lives is invoke, okay, or provoke,
There we go.
or evoke.
Uh-huh.
I'll run it down to you. God said, you provoked me these 10 times. So only God can we provoke. Because there's only one God. So the provoke, when we go against, and we only provoke one, which is God. Okay? Now, the works of my hands are clean in God's laws. When you do that, you invoke, meaning you call to yourself good spirits, godly spirits. That's the godly spirit that we be talking about, that we need. Look, the spirit of God ain't coming and jumping on nobody, but we give you a spirit It's spirits up there, it's spirits up there that got no name. It said a spirit raised his hand and said, I'll do it. It wasn't an angel. Angels and spirits are different.
It's a fact.
There are a lot more spirits running around. And that's the outside forces that my brother Chief Shama always talk about. When he said outside forces. Okay? So our spirit has a gate. Works of our hands determine if that gate opens or closes. So when I sin against God, right? I leave an opening in my gate, and all this bad thoughts. Now I'm scheming. Now I want to do something to you. Now I'm gonna, now I feel a way about this. Now this. Now you get it? And beside that, I'm not fully correct with God, like Abel was. That's why what I did didn't get accepted, because I wasn't accepted. Tamshi.
For my enemies are lively and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render evil.
It's going to always be that way when you want to serve God. But this is what they went through. Yo, to serve God, you got to go through it, man. To prove that you are worthy to withstand the heritage of a godly person that will be given from God. Abraham went through stuff. Isaac went through stuff. Jacob, when we see Jacob, he went through way more stuff than his father, and that's because of the prophecy of God, not because he tricked his father. Y'all forgot? Y'all forgot that God told Abraham about Egypt already? Y'all forgot? God said, look, man, I'm going to bring them here into this nation. He didn't say Egypt. Never mentioned Egypt.
Nah.
He said they're going to go into a nation. He said, I'm going to let you know everything ain't going to be all fun and hee-hee-ha. I'm going to bring them out from a nation by a mighty hand when I visit that nation. So Egypt was already on the map to be visited in the next 430 years. You see what I'm saying? So like Chief Shama said earlier, watch your mouth, because a lot of stuff these people did had to be done.
That's right.
Because God said it was going to be done. And sometimes I might have to kill somebody to get off what God said is going to have to be done. And I killed that person because it's the only way it's going to happen. And that person's in the way. Plus that person is wicked anyway. And that's how you get rid of that. God is the ultimate organizer. Trust me, y'all. He can hear every thought of every person on this planet that was here, that's here, and will be here at the same time. That is God. Only God could do that.
Amen.
All the deities can't do that, man. They can't do that. Computers can't do that. The server is down. You try to send. No, man, I can't send nothing to Cash App. The server is down. You know why? Too much people is on it. It's overloaded and heated. God don't overload. God is the overloader. God is the sparker. He is the life giver, the life bringer, and the life taker. He is the one who creates. He says when, here, how, who, and don't ask why. That's the Most High God. We got to make it more about him than I'm making it about you or you making it about me. And we both are not excelling. But what I'm doing ain't going to count. Because in us going at each other, we break commandments. And with that, I hope you got something out of what we brought today. Well, nobody said I was mad today. Tried to bring it as pleasant as possible. Now let's have some fun and eat some more bread.
Shalom.
Kagmazot shalom.
Shalom.